What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 104. Always here on a Thursday night for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Always here with my resident homies, Casey and Joel. We're actually going to see the professor later, guys, so that'd be rad. He'll probably be a little after 8 or so. He gets off work and gets home. So yeah, dude, professor's popping in. That'll be a treat. And tonight we're joined by Adam Houmam. What's going on, Adam?
Sweet. What's up, guys?
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, dude. He's a drummer of Cartilage, and is it pronounced Maentra? Just is the E? Yeah, E's silent.
Yeah, perfect.
That's with Paul from Origin, right?
Yeah, Paul Ryan, Origin, and Rudy from Cyanic and Genocide Skin. So
sick, dude.
Couple shredders.
Right on, dude. And I've been able to witness Adam's playing in person. Joel and I and the professor were actually together at Cartilage Ontogeny show. So what up, Nate? Shout out Nate right in the beginning. But yeah, that was actually, was it my first? It was one of my first shows back from.
I think it was. You were like, damn, you were like so excited to be back.
Oh, dude, that night was so much fun, dude. Cartilage ripped, fucking Ontogeny blew my face off. I got to see Pit Shark in action for the first time.
Dude,
oh, she's right here.
Oh, what up? That's so funny. She probably I saw that comment pop up right when I said her name too. What up, Pit Shark?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here again, guys, and we're gonna hang out. Oh, there we go. Real quick. They pushed me right into the plugs real quick. Everybody go get your coffee, battleforgecoffee.com. DJ Flash homies getting your day together for you in the morning. But yeah, go support the homies. And again, I'm not even gonna mention it anymore. We still don't have merch, guys. But I just mentioned it anyways.
You guys need sandals, dude. It's got to be a true
dude. All right, here's the real deal on that. I'm going to give you a little backstory on that. We do want to do that, but I don't want to buy the fucking cheap shit that they're just going to fucking.
That's why we're not doing it.
You know, we gotta build up that merch game, but we're too lazy to fucking keep it rolling. We sold out the first shirts and we need to get another run going, but eventually we might be able to build that pile of money enough to where, because really it's just going to go right back into the merch. We're not really trying to make money off of this shit. So we just want to make cooler shit, and eventually we will. And sandals is definitely one of them, dude. But I want to work with a real company. I want fucking quality shit for you guys. So you guys are going to have to probably spend, more than you would think on a pair of Cali Death Podcast sandals.
Cost for us will be like $50 a piece.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. But I want shit that would last. I want shit that I would buy personally. You know, I'm not going to give you the fucking deal where it's like you can get 1,000 pairs of sandals for fucking $200, and then the ones with you could see the plastic strap go all the way through to the bottom. They're actually on the bottom. I don't know. You guys probably don't know that much about sandals, but anyways, I want quality shit. So eventually, dude, you called us out though, Adam. That's definitely already in the conversation, dude.
Hey, or Cali Death Podcast mugs to go with your Battle Forged coffee.
Oh, there we go.
That would be awesome too, and the pint glasses and all that kind of shit. Eventually, that'd be rad. And I think our logo would work good on pretty much all of that stuff. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think it's
palm trees, bro.
Yeah,
but yeah. Tell us where we can go buy some of your shit, Adam. Where's the Cartilage merch? Where's the Maentra merch? Is there any Maentra merch yet?
Yeah, so with Cartilage merch, you can go on our Bandcamp. It's just cartilagegore.bandcamp.com. And then there's also more merch from our label through Creator Destructor.
Fuck yeah, Ben. I love Ben. Yeah,
Ben's the man. I love that guy, man. He really believed in us from the beginning of this album, new album that we put out, and he's really been showing it. So he's got a ton of merch. Go support. And then Maentra, I think, is mantraofficial.com. We have our shirts and CDs on there, so we got like a website for that.
Killer, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Any upcoming shows or anything that you want to plug right now?
Let's see. Maentra is playing December 17th with Scythe, Infex, and one other band in Santa Rosa at Three Disciples. I don't know if you guys made it out to Three Disciples in Santa Rosa before.
No.
No, but I've probably heard of it. It sounds like
super sick, dude. Like there's like I had no idea there was like this sick of a scene up there until like when COVID kind of reset and shows were going back last year. Like we got an offer to play Santa Rosa. I was like, oh, this is random, but sure. And you know, lo and behold, room's packed. You know, there's just like so many metalheads there.
Nice,
it's super cool. Three Disciples Brewing in Santa Rosa. So many sick shows, and
that's where I probably heard of it. Is the beer company Three Disciples Brewery? Yeah, I probably.
Is Scythe the guy that or the band that has that famous skater in it?
Oh, I don't know.
Like Danny something. I don't know. He's like one of those that one famous video of the skater beating up the three guys. He's like one of the I forget his name. I don't know. I never skated. I always fell too much.
Yeah, I never trust myself. I don't know if that guy's in the band. They're new to me, but I'll find out.
Okay, I remember hearing about it in high school, so might be another band. But that's a cool name.
Yeah, it is. It's very slick. Dude. Yeah,
it's all kind of surfery too. It's like
we played a show. We played a show with Urethane, Steve Caballero's band, about a month ago.
Who's that?
Steve Caballero. He's talking about skaters.
Oh, Steve Caballero. Oh, yeah, that's right. I had the Caballero shoe for a while, dude.
Yeah, dude. You know,
totally rocking the shoes, and you don't even know who the fuck he is, bro.
Whatever. The cool thing about skater shoes when you don't skate is that they last for fucking ever.
I used to skate in shell toe Adidas, dude. Those were my skate shoes when I skated. Which actually, when you're kicking flips, dude, those shell toes are a nice grip, dude.
What up? Fucking inside info.
I actually really like using Lakais for drumming. Those are super comfortable.
Okay.
Oh, Lakais. Okay.
Yeah, Lakais are super comfortable, like skate shoes, like long and shit. So
what do you think about my idea of making drum pedals into sandals, where you actually like strap in?
Idea.
Oh, like kind of like Crocs?
Yeah, no, just like take the top of a sandal, somehow connect it to your drum pedal, and then you slide into the drum pedal like it's a sandal. That
would be sick. And no
one's it would keep your feet from going too high off the pedal. Maybe
like water skis, dude.
Speed a little bit, dude.
It's gotta have that rubber stretch like water skis, like
or
like those like old, you know what I'm saying, or like I'm trying to say like those like old flipper pad things that like have the stretchy, like you gotta have some like give a little bit. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like
or maybe not, or maybe you want it like super stiff, like just like hardcore. Like if your feet slip in, it's just tight
I think
sand.
it's not that bad of an idea, dude.
You could like adjust
patent this shit, dude.
I wonder if it would be super slippery though if you just go barefoot though.
Yeah.
You totally get like a burn between your toes. Like if you're you know.
What about those
drummers? So I don't know. I
wonder if there's drummers that use those single. What are those shoes that actually separate your toes?
Those like those running
starts
like
with a V or something.
Oh right, okay.
Or some shit.
Like climbing shoes and stuff.
So you wear those, then you slide into the sandal.
That's a lot of pieces.
What's the point of that, dude?
So then you use the drummer spray on them, and then you're good, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah.
The drummer spray.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We also got to mention before we forget that Paul Masvidal is doing a guitar clinic.
Yeah. Yes,
it's our new friend that has been nothing but amazing to us. He is going to teach you how to play the guitar really well.
Yep.
And I'm going to put the rest of the comments.
He's doing one in San Diego in like National City, like down there next Friday the 11th. And then there's another one at the Musicians Institute in LA, and I forgot the date. Sorry, you can look it up.
It's not on the thing, right? Is it?
I don't know.
I think next week we can grab that one because it's still over a week away.
It's gonna happen sometime. I can tell you. Like
yeah.
So
in the near future.
Yeah.
But yeah, the November 11th one. So that's an in-person thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Nice.
It's gonna be from 6 to 8. I guess is the whole deal.
So people listening, the San Diego one is the 3000 West 28th Street, Suite 101, National City, California. 91950.
Boom. Look at us being all professional, dude.
Pitbull Audio is the location, right?
Pitbull Audio.
Pitbull Audio. Check it out.
Yeah. Cool.
That's a rad situation. That would be a position that I would want to be in as a up and coming death metal guitar player. Go watch that dude fucking play. How long does the clinic usually go for?
I think two hours.
I was going to say about 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay, and you can ask him. He's one of the nicest guys in all of metal, so
Yeah.
would love to get some questions probably from everyone, and also I would love to just watch him up close, just like play stuff, and just and then be scared to ask anything. That's probably what. I would do.
It's like a Q&A thing. Is what it says. So if you're a listener, or if you're, like we posted the flyer on the screen, but it's going to be like a guitar play. Obviously is going to do demonstrations, playthroughs, as far as I understand. Also, there's going to be a Q&A. So it's going to be performance and Q&A. That's what it says on the thing. Yeah. So
Nice.
So there you go.
Brad.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
what's
cool.
up, guys. Anything else? There's nothing else, right? We got all the plugs in.
I think so.
Cool, guys.
All right. See you guys later.
That's it.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
How was your
Yeah,
guys' Halloween? Let's talk
It was
about
cool,
Halloween
dude.
for a second. Yeah.
It was, yeah, we had a good time.
Joel, did you end up getting a banana costume or not?
I did, and
What's the pictures, bro? I didn't see any pictures.
it was a weird night. Chance from Archaic, he's like a DJ, and he was like, he's moving to Tennessee, so we went to go like this big going away thing to go watch him like spin, right? That's what they call it.
Spin some
That's
records.
what the kids are
dude.
calling it. No, he was like doing all. I watched him from behind. It was fucking sick what he was doing. I was just trying to get a grip on what that meant, because it's all digital now. Like
Mhm.
it's two different like CDs and like they're CD
Laptop
looking
set up, and then
things.
there's weird pads like I don't know if they're called MIDI pads or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. He was. There's like there's two different like it looks like a DAW, like a recording DAW, where there's like two different like wavelengths going, and he's like cutting into them and like on the fly and stuff. And I was like,
Mhm.
whoa, this is like above my pay grade. But I ended up like it was like it was like a rave thing. I didn't know it was gonna be like I don't EDM show, rave, I don't know what you call it. But I ended up taking very legal psilocybin mushrooms, but a little bit too much. I was like drunk, like, oh, whatever, fuck it. And then I was just the fucking weird guy in the corner all night, like I can't talk to anyone.
I can't do it anymore.
Everyone was like checking on me and stuff. They're like, "You okay? Did Joel leave?" They're all like freaking out.
Look,
How much?
good.
How many did you eat? Do you remember?
I do. It was. So what I did is there was like a big at a friend's house. There's a big like table of them, and I just got a knife and I just cut off like two caps, like two big caps.
Yeah.
And just ate them. But I was drunk. I was going like, whatever, dude. This ain't shit. And I was like, oh, this is shit.
Yes, it is shit.
I was like, my drunk is gone, and now I'm just like fucking huge. I was just freaking out on everything. But
were you in a banana costume?
I walked into this rave like peeking in a banana costume, and everyone's just going like, "Oh, banana!" Everyone's like saying all this shit. I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. This is like not a good place.
They're all like,
not a good place to
they're all
be.
standing out.
I came as a banana, and I don't want to be known as a banana, dude.
I know it was. Right as I went in there, I was like, I can't be social right now. Then I'm like, oh shit, I'm wearing a fucking banana costume right now. This is not conducive.
Everyone wants to talk to me, dude. I'm a banana. What the fuck?
But they had like a whole Mario Kart track set up with like these little bikes and stuff. So it was like Mario Kart. And everyone's
That's
like,
sick.
all the other people were like, dude, you're a banana. You got to jump out there and let them like spin out on you, dude. The game and shit.
You just like, my costume is complex. I'm an antisocial banana. Just like,
How many was it like a big room or?
Yeah, it's probably a couple or 100 people, 150 people.
But you were the only banana.
Yeah, everyone was like, oh, they had these elaborate, like, like color, like, whatever people that take their Molly and stuff costumes.
Yeah.
And I was just a banana, and I was like,
yeah.
It was intense. And then in the middle of it, a mariachi band came and like they thought it would be funny just to like when I was like sitting there in like the back corner, they came in and like invaded it for a second. Not invaded, but they're like it's like a bunch of chill like DJ, and they're all burp, burp. They're just like a whole mariachi band just walks in. And I'm like, oh my, this is awesome, but I'm like, this is too much right now. I'm gonna call an Uber.
That's so funny. All that, isn't it weird how weird shit always happens like that? Like,
oh
yeah. If I wasn't on mushrooms, would that mariachi band have come in right now?
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, dude. It was. Anyways, I had a good Halloween.
So, dude, yeah, I went trick or treating with the kids.
Awesome.
I thought that would be funnier after your elaborate story. All I did was the normal shit that you would do. But yeah, no, we had fun. It was actually the kids got to go with a bunch of friends that they haven't seen in a while too. So that was a plus. But yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Normal shit.
I mean, remember being a kid and going like trick or treating? That was like the sickest thing. Like out of all the holidays, was going like having a little bucket and just being like, oh, and some stranger gives you candy. That's like, that was like my life was like complete. For like, you got all the candy, you know, and your parents were like, all right, don't eat all of it. You can't eat all
You know
of
what
it.
tripped me out about this Halloween this year was back when I was a kid, it was check your candy for razors. Now it's check your candy for fentanyl. That's like the number
Now
one
it's
thing
like,
you
now
hear
it's like
now.
ceremonial. It's like you just like get the candy and you just throw it away and like, I bought you a bunch of candy for after.
Yeah.
Wow.
But isn't that
where you're
wild? It's like,
trick-or-treating. Yeah.
as-
It's
but there's
changed.
always, I think that's all.
Sketchy
There's like
spots. Yeah.
those ways that they try and scare the parents all the time, but at the same time, it has happened in the past. I'm sure somebody had to have done it in order for us to say, watch out for razors. But now it's drugs, guys. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I know.
Even if that's bullshit, that's still like that's the current conversation now. It's that version of the razor blade and the candy. Now it's just drugs, guys.
My 11-year-old nephew was dressed up as that, like the Tyrannosaurus, the blow up thing that you see in this.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like super funny. Just him, like we just went around the street, like trick or treating and stuff, you know. And my nephew is like 3, his brother, you know. But yeah, it's like super funny just watching him walk in that costume. And but it was like brutal. He had to keep like opening and breathing. He's like, oh, I can't fucking breathe.
Yeah, how does that work? I never understood
But,
how that
but then
worked.
you put it back on and it refills up. Like there's like this air thing that keeps pumping
okay.
it back in. Like
That's what
It's
I
like a
thought.
mini
Imagine-
version of
Yeah.
a kid's jumpy house, dude. But you put it on
right,
your body.
It's like an air
you are
mattress
the
that you're
jumpy
in.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's funny just watching this thing walk, like this Tyrannosaurus.
I thought that story. That story I thought was gonna get super dark because we were just talking about fentanyl, and you're like, "Oh, my nephew, dude!" Like,
I was trying to turn it around, dude. I was trying to bring it back.
I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, someone's getting all dark with that shit. No, we had a great time. Come on, you know.
We were just,
I was
the
like,
way
what
we jumped
neighborhood
out
are
of
you
it.
trick or treating in, dude? Come on, dude. Taking your kids. What are you doing, dude?
Just Rock Springs, fucking
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Adam, did you do any partying or anything for Halloween?
Yeah, I went to a small gathering on Saturday, but my real highlight was seeing Merciful Fate in Sacramento.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So
Oh,
sick,
shit.
dude.
So
With
rad.
Creator and Midnight. It was fucking awesome.
Was it Ace of Spades or something?
No, it was out in Wheatland, right? It was over
Yeah, it's
at
actually
the.
technically Wheatland in
Okay.
the Hard Rock Casino.
Yep.
But it was packed and it was like huge.
No, I saw him
Yeah.
at PsychoFest. Actually, I was just texting with one of my friends that was there, and that, like, their sound like is insane. Like, I don't understand. Like, I remember, like, because I listened to him back a long time ago, but you know, I've always known about him and known about King Diamond and stuff. But I was like, I was at PsychoFest, and I was like, well, everyone's wearing Merciful Fate shirts. We have to see him. Like, there's no way we're missing this. And I was like, staring at the sound guy, like, who is this fucking magician? Like, I can hear everything perfectly. Like, it sounded 10 times better than any other band, and just heavy and fun, and then the full show and shit. And I was like, I think they stole the show for sure. You know, at PsychoFest. It was fucking mind blowing.
It was amazing, and it was just like, you know, they haven't played California in like 20 something years, you know. And I'm a huge Merciful Fate King Diamond fan, and I've seen King Diamond like 3 times already, but like seeing those Merciful Fate songs live is just like, damn.
People were getting down.
Yeah,
people
sick.
were into it.
Yeah, Creator though that was my first time seeing Creator, and I like Creator a lot. But I was like, damn, like these dudes are in their 50s and still doing like really fast double bass. Like it was so cool.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
People still doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of, like, with metal and stuff, you talk about, like, people go, well, I don't want to do it because there's not like a good retirement plan. And then there's like, then you think about it, and it's like these bands that have made it, they're like, we're gonna play until we die. It's just like there's no retirement. It's like, we're just gonna keep doing it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, they brought it super hard too, but obviously Merciful Fate was the best.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
How old is
Yeah.
Merciful Fate? How old are those guys? Are they in their 50s too, or even older than that?
The drummer is, or no, the King is like 62, 63.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. And the drummer was like 62 as well, and he was ripping, dude.
Dude, they were all ripping.
That's
Like,
gonna be
solos
Mike
and shit.
Hamilton too. Mike Hamilton, he Is he in his 50s
He's
yet?
60. Oh shit.
I think,
Damn, dude, he's 60.
no, he's not
That's-
60.
No, hell no. But he might be creeping towards 50 or just over it. But either way, that dude's in killer shape. And look at how that dude drums, dude.
Dude, fucking, I'm kind of friends with Matt Harvey, and he texted me when they were recording. He was like, Mike Hamilton's 50 years old. He just recorded a song that's like 240 BPM, like the fastest song on the new Exhumed album. I was just like, damn, dude, he's not slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah.
That
So
guy's a
sick.
machine, dude.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I love Hamilton, man. He's so dope.
He's my second dad.
Oh,
Definitely
It's
dad.
like the guy from that old Chiquita banana commercial, dude.
yeah.
That old guy. He's like runs every day. He's like 80.
Oh my god, Chiquita banana throwout.
Mike Hamilton's the Tom Brady of death metal.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
He is
dude.
pretty much.
So,
Yeah.
It went in fucking Super Bowls in his 40s and late 40s, right? Isn't Tom Brady? Was he?
Yeah, but that's
40?
not football years. It's like dog years. So like death metal years. It's like,
Yeah, he's been playing
He's
since
like
I know like
57.
2000. Like,
yeah.
you know, watching him as a little kid, watching Tom Brady, and I'm like an adult now. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? He's still like, you should probably quit, dude. Head stuff.
Head
Tom
stuff.
45.
Power to him.
Yeah, but they're protected. Quarterbacks are protected.
Okay, so Mike was born in
Oh,
71.
yeah.
So that means so he's 50,
He's 13 years older than me. I'm 38. So
Mike's
that's
older than
51.
Tom Brady.
51.
51, yeah. Well, depending on what month too, but yeah, 51.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Still,
I mean, say, like Bill's like pushing 60 pretty. He's like in his probably mid 50s. Bill from Decrepit. Like
Yeah.
he was like in his late 40s when we were touring with him.
And he's always been in shape though too. You
I
know,
thought Bill was
The
like
guys-
Bill was like 80, dude.
the guys we're talking about have kept it together into their 50s. You
I
know,
didn't say that, dude.
You know what's funny is Bill just shaved his beard or like shaved it down, and like I saw him kind
What?
of recently, and I was like, he just when he does that, he looks so much younger. I'm like, you should. He looks like this, like, you know, he's got like a six pack and
Do you
like
have a picture?
walking around. Yeah,
Did you-
probably got
it's
still
somewhere.
in the puppy, right?
hey, did his
Shoot me a
dreads
pic,
get
let's see
extra
that.
longer? Because I think I saw him at Santa Cruz at that show the other night.
He plays in a punk band, so actually he's playing kind of oh, sick dude.
He just said, "I'll be right back." He said it hella quick.
Wheels cover.
Yeah. No, he plays in a punk band. Fuck, I forget their goddamn name. But yeah, he goes to show
3 letters, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. God damn it. But no, Bill's still doing that's cool. Bill's been like trying to get his punk projects going forever,
Sick.
and they're playing shows and stuff with Cliff from Blast's other band too. I don't
Dude,
forget
Blast
their
is
god-
sick. Yeah.
No, totally. So it's like and then they grew up together. They were like buddies growing up. So like it's cool to see them, you know, sharing the stage and doing that together. It's like super
awesome.
old school Santa Cruz stuff. You know, it's like
Yeah, no, Blast is like Santa Cruz as fuck. That's awesome.
no, totally. I mean, that's where Nuclear Blast was like Nuclear Rabbit and Blast is where they got their
Oh,
name for
shit.
their label from. Yeah. No, it's like,
Yeah.
and dude, Blast actually one time, Cliff came into my work and was like, dude, we got what's his name? Who's the drummer of fucking Nirvana and the singer of Foo Fighters?
Dave
Oh,
Grohl.
Dave Grohl. He's all, we got Dave Grohl drumming on the new album. I'm like, yeah, whatever, Cliff. Like, sick. You're getting a little old. What's going on? And like, and just Dave Grohl was in town, just jamming with him. I was like, what the fuck? Like, Dave Grohl's like, oh, dude, they're like one of the most legendary bands in punk rock, like in history. And I was like, whoa, Cliff. Damn, I didn't know that.
Dave Grohl
just-
seems like he's cool as fuck too.
Oh yeah, he's like just comes
That
out,
dude made
jams with
us-
them.
We went out to the bar that he works at, right? And we had drinks.
He works
One
at
of
a
the guys-
bar.
One of the guys behind the
Oh,
bar, you
Cliff,
said
Cliff.
was
He's talking about
yeah,
Oh, Cliff,
yeah,
my bad. I was like,
Cliff
Dave
does the
Grohl.
Catalyst. He works at the
Okay.
Catalyst.
Oh, cool.
yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah. But
And you gave me that whole spiel. I was like, damn, dude. And that guy just made me a cocktail.
he blasted up a clock.
He blasted him out.
We should get on the timeline.
Oh, let's do it. I
Did
guess
Casey disappear?
he'll be back. He said he would be right
Casey's-
back.
He's just urinating. He's right here actually. If I want to put him on
Urinating.
before he wants to be on. He
All
looks
right,
ready.
dude. Let's
That's
do
cool.
it then.
That's perfect.
Adam, let's finally dig into you. That was a nice little 25-minute bullshit weed
20
section
minutes
right
of
in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Fentanyl and bananas.
Yeah, dude. You're a fan of the show, so you know how we like to start. Go back in time with us, or take us back in time. to childhood. As early as you can, think of that time where music clicked, like why you started paying attention to music and what made you.
Cool. So I grew up with 2 older brothers, and since the beginning, we've always been heavily into music. And I can remember as early as like 4 or 5 years old, just like jamming on like pillows with pencils, like blasting Metallica and like whatever came on Live 105 back then, because
Yeah.
I was just like
Live
available,
105.
you know?
Call out.
Dude,
what's
Live
up,
105.
That was our
KSGO, Live 105. Yeah.
that's the local Bay Area alternative station.
Oh yeah, it's alternative, not so much metal, but it was like, you know, you're 5 years old, like that's fine.
Did you get KSJO out there?
I think we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was back in the day. It was like, sorry to cut it off, but it was like
No, it's all
around the
good.
same time. Those are the 2 stations when I was growing up in that area. It was Live 105 and KSJO. Those are like where you'd find the metal on the radio, you know.
Or
Yeah, and
like
then-
I mentioned before, it was 107.7 The Bone would do the Friday what did they call the show?
Dirty Friday. You're thinking that's
super late at night they'd play death metal.
Yeah, it would be like an hour or 2 where they'd have like more extreme metal, and
That was
like,
at a SF, right? The Bone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the fuck it was called though. Anyways,
Bone.
Yeah. It was like right after Mandatory Metallica or something.
oh, Mandatory Metallica. Jesus. Tell me back.
is it the Metal Zone? It might have been the Metal Zone. I don't know. Anyways.
My brother would remember if he's tuned in. He would know what they would call it, because they would play like Morbid Angel, dude, like at midnight, but you'd have to wait till midnight to hear it.
Yeah,
That's awesome. The
totally.
Bone Zone? Wasn't the Bone Zone?
The Bone Zone. I think that's what it is, dude.
Bone Zone could be.
7 G's coming through. That sounds really familiar, dude. I think you got it.
The Bone Zone. Such a good name.
Shout out Joel 7 G's, dude.
Hell yeah, Joel 7G. But yeah, so we grew up on that, like lots of Korn, System of a Down, Metallica. Like we're all like we're 3 brothers, so we're 3 years apart. So I got into it super early.
Were you the youngest?
I'm the youngest of 3, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great position in a 3 brother situation where everybody's passing down the knowledge. You got to it way quick, dude.
Yeah. I mean, get the most wedgies and hand-me-downs. But it had its pros for sure. But we would always just like, we used to trade off on like buying Metallica albums. Like my middle brother bought Injustice. My oldest bought Master of Puppets. I bought Ride the Lightning. That's still like my favorite Metallica album.
Sweet.
And then, let's see. I remember just like fast forwarding to like maybe 4th or 5th grade. My mom we all used to go to the same school because I was like 2nd grade, and then the middle one was like 4th grade. The other one was like 7th grade. I remember one day my brother Larby, the oldest brother, he had burned a CD of Annihilation of the Wicked.
Nice.
And
fuck yeah.
That's
dude,
crazy.
Yeah, I heard it so early. I heard
that's a big
like, this is sick.
dump of information for ears that aren't ready for that album.
Yeah, like I was just like, this is so extreme. I love it. I just loved the speed and how precise and everything was. So that album got me into death metal. George Calais got me into like doing extreme drumming. So that album's like super important to me. Let's see. Yeah. And we just kept going. I used to jam covers with my older brother, Larby. So shortly like after that, we would just start jamming like Exodus songs. I started getting into like Suffocation, Immortal.
So talk about like getting into playing drums though. When was the first kit? How'd you get it? You're saying you're jamming with your older brother. Was he playing guitar?
Yeah. So Larby, my older brother, still plays guitar. But what's funny is I think I might have started playing guitar before him because my mom tried to get me to do lessons at Manor Music in Pacifica.
Shout out. Yeah, you're a total Manor kid, right?
Dude, a very Manor kid.
Yeah.
Side note, I know Murray's in the chat. Adam's from Pacifica. So
Yeah,
it's like
very
it's like Anthony's from Pacifica, Adam's in Pacifica. It's like
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
a trip.
it's crazy. We usually
He's-
we were just joking about like interviewing New York people over and over again. They're literally next to each like they could drive in like 5 minutes and hang out with each other right now.
Right. So
Yeah.
did you go to any of the Fog Fest shows, the day festivals that would be metal?
At Winters, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Not at Winters, but I do remember that super young kid band Haunted by Heroes. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
They
Haunted by
were like
Heroes, dude.
on America's Got Talent or something, and they
My
played.
my wife used to work at Fog City Java, and
Oh, cool.
the dad of one of those kids would come in there, and there'd always be the promo CDs on the counter because
Sick.
the coffee shop let them keep them there. So yeah,
That's
Haunted by Heroes, dude. They're just like a straight up metal band, right? Or is
Yeah,
it
they
more
were like,
rocky?
they're like hard rock kind of
Yeah,
light metal, just like. But these kids were like literally 10 years old, and they were ripping in their instruments.
I love that, dude. It makes you super excited for that to be possible. If those kids keep going, expect what could they be when they become an adult? You know, being
Totally.
That's
that
the same way I
young and
saw.
getting into like being. Sorry, dude. I was just gonna finish that thought, which is being that young and learning how to be in a band. And Casey's actually, you know, he's molding all that shit over where
Yeah.
he's at. You know. But
Right.
yeah, like learning the band mentality kind of is just like being on a team and learning the team mentality.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, that's cool that they learned it that early, because then you start to like see like, oh, everyone's got to like cool, your own weight. You got to practice, show up prepared, all this stuff. And those kids were killing it.
Yeah.
That's
What
like
were
the
you
same
gonna
with
say, Banana?
what I was about to say, the seeing Animosity for the first time. They were children. They had 4 songs, and they looked like they were 10, 12 years old, something like that. They were tiny kids. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, should we leave? Like these little kids we were like, we're probably 16, we're 17, 18 probably. And we're just going like, oh, these kids are gonna play. Okay, they're doing like a cool little thing for the kids at the end. Well, we're like, we want to go find alcohol because we're 18, or we're like younger and we need to go find
Yeah.
alcohol. And then they played, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I was like completely blown away. And that, just seeing like the young kids come in, and nowadays you see on YouTube, like so many fucking kids are insane at music now. It's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of just like, I'm like working on my guitar chops and stuff recently, and I'm like getting back into it. And I'm just like, a video comes up of like a fucking 13-year-old like doing a Jason Becker song like all the way through. Like, all right, well, should I just what's going on? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I'm against it, dude.
Against it, even though
Yeah.
you like run.
I
like
think they should
a
take
rock
away.
school.
They should take away their guitarists, dude. Tired of this, dude. Tired
Yeah,
of this.
Give them video games.
Yeah, give them
Makes me
video
so
games.
angry.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, the new generation, how quickly they're picking up on stuff, but they're also, they have so much resources compared to like when people were younger. Like YouTube was only around like what, 2004 or 5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like, besides that, you just had to listen to the record or whatever and learn it. So, or tabs.
Yeah. Well, being your age, yeah, that's you were tabs were much easily obtained, much more easy. Am I saying that right? Easily obtained, excuse me.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's all about how much you want to do it, what you want to do, and how much you want to do it. So even
Mhm.
at back in the day, kids would still eventually find the resources that they need if they really wanted to do it,
Yeah.
So
I
it's the
mean,
drive first.
yeah. I'll say this, man. I'm really lucky to grow up the generation I did, because when I started getting into extreme metal, like drumming, like 05, 06, like, I would listen to the albums, but then like I would also see that this like channel, Sick Drummer Magazine, started posting drum cams, dude. So then I would be able to see. I remember seeing Casey back in the day, and like John Longstreth and Trey Williams,
Fuck
Mike
yeah! Shout out to
Smith,
Sick
like
Drummer, dude.
all
Shout
those
out,
dudes.
yeah. Ian's in the chat right now.
Ian's fucking
Ian
awesome.
rules.
Yeah, Ian's
Yeah.
awesome, dude. Yeah, so I feel super fortunate to have been able to see like those videos of how they're holding the stick, how high they're sitting, what kind of pedals, what kind of snare, like all this
Right.
shit. Yeah.
It's actually going back to clinics. You made your own clinic with what you could find online. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel very fortunate to grow up in that era of the spawning of like Sick Drummer Magazine and drum cam videos and like George Colias warm up videos. And just like, this is so cool.
Yeah. Right.
So very fortunate. But yeah.
You know,
So
actually,
you're playing-
one of the best like inventions that YouTube has like added to their video player is that you can like I'll see someone play something and I'll be like, oh, I'll go to halftime. No, I go to like slow motion.
Dude.
And it doesn't change any notes. It's just slower. So it's like it'll just be slowed down. I'll be like, okay, well, I'll learn this now. I can see his hands and now I can do it. You know what I mean? Like
Dude, a 10-year-old taught that to me. I was like teaching this, and I was like, man, you know, like if you can get this thing, you can slow it down. He's like, you could do it on YouTube, and I was like,
he's like, I wonder what our videos sound.
Yeah, just click on this little thing, and I was just like,
I wonder what our episodes would sound like at half speed, dude.
Couldn't believe it.
Dude, I used to back in the day.
It would take you 6 hours to watch it, dude.
No, everyone, if you go half speed, like it's actually kind of funny. If you want to go like do that on a podcast, everyone just sounds hammered. They're like, "Oh, what are you talking about?"
You don't have to go half speed to hear everyone sound hammered. I don't know.
I know. We're going full speed to be hammered.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well,
when I get really fucked up, I wonder what I would sound like half speed, dude. I would probably sound like a fucking.
It would be inconceivable. Like,
I would sound like I have brain damage, dude.
Fucking, it would be.
Oh yeah, that was great. So that whole old school scene back before all the internet stuff, you had to like go. We've talked about this with a lot of the old school guys. You have to go to fucking Kinko's and like, oh, I'm gonna buy the green paper, dude. I want the green paper because like it stands out more, you know, and like pay like a ton of money like just for the for flyers and just like fucking go staple them on every pole you can find, and like that used to be the now it's just like a post, dude, put it in my story. it's like and then you're done, you know.
Lazy,
yeah.
just like
It's like you can do it while you're taking a dump. Just be like, I'm gonna post it on my story, dude.
I got a lot of work done while I was in the bathroom.
While you're wiping, you can just be like,
very, very productive in multiple ways, inside and out.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting time to like go because you're kind of in between from that kind of style to like the new technological style where like there's probably MySpace music and stuff coming out when you're starting out, right?
Yeah, so MySpace was like super popular, and then I only got like a Facebook maybe in like 2011 or something. But yeah, MySpace was like super sick. You know, when people would open your page, you would just see like whatever song is opening. Like I used to have like Decapitated or something play like back in the day.
Oh fuck yeah,
the shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, going back to the flyer talk, like I'm still a firm believer of passing out like handbills. I still do that sometimes for some shows. Like, I think that's the best way to do it because it's so easy to ignore shit on your phone or swipe or like fuck off or whatever. Yeah, I still print flyers and pass them out. Like, cause
I've gotten a cartilage flyer, like a little flyer before. I've gotten one before.
Oh, cool.
Casey's not doing. Yeah. No, like it's kind of cool to see like when the bands like personally. They're handing you the you're like check it out, and you're like you put it in your pocket, like cool. You look at it real quick, you're like, all right, well, what's the date? What's going on? Okay, cool. And then you put it in your pocket, and then like you forget about it, and then like you pull it out of your pocket when you're not having any alcohol,
laundry or something.
You're like, and you're doing laundry, something like that, and you look at it, you're like, oh shit, this is going on. Oh fuck, it's this weekend, and blah blah blah. You know, it's actually for nowadays, it's actually everyone getting all into the vinyl and like the old school style of doing things. To find something like that, I'll be like kind of psyched on it. I'll be like, this is fucking rad. You know,
not only that, it's kind of like getting your attention without the phone, because it's just like planted a seed where you're gonna find it later. Because that's happened to me so many times. What you're talking about, flyers that show up after shows in pockets of pants that you need to wash, and it puts it back into the forefront of your mind. Oh shit, here's this show. That dude handed it to me. That guy's going to be playing this. There's like all these layers to it.
Yeah, it's like what Adam said. It's like you're so used to the phone thing where it's like phone, and then all of a sudden like you have this like totally obscure kind of media nowadays. So, like you have a thing in your pocket, and you're like, whoa, this is like, oh shit, you know. It's like makes you pay more attention to it because you're not used to it anymore. And the phone, you're just like look at it, you're just like beep, It's like it's gone like immediately, you know. It's like
super short-term like memory loss on phone promotion, you know, like people just like swipe and look at something else, but like
I was gonna say with that, you swipe past things, so you really don't see. It's like if you're on your page, those are all virtual flyers, but you're just passing on everybody handing you shit, and you don't really pay attention to. But the physical thing has infiltrated outside of the virtual world into the physical world, and
that's
it
right.
actually, it makes it to where you're gonna have to be reminded about it at least once before you decide you're going to throw that flyer away or keep it to remind yourself of an upcoming show.
yeah,
Exactly.
and you know, if you think about it too, like if you post it on your Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you're only posting that flyer to the people that you have added on there. Whereas, like if you hand out a flyer at a show, you're going to meet a ton of random people you have no idea about, you know.
Yep.
And then you're just like, cool. What are these? Like I've had people just stop me and be like, "What are these bands about?" And I'm just like, "Here we go, fucking give you a little bio of each one. Go to the show."
Yeah.
It's cool because then you get to meet people and they're like, "Cool, man. I just moved here, this and that," and you know, you wouldn't have gotten that if you had just put it on your Instagram.
And if you pick the right show to do that at, you're actually guaranteeing more people that would lean towards being interested in the show in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
If you just put it out there to people that you're friends with on, like, I don't know what the percentage of my friends lists would even care that I put up anything about anything, but you're going into like the specific bubble where you're wanting your shit to be networked anyways, and you're doing it physically. And yes, grabbing the random person who doesn't even know you or anything that you do, it's adding another layer to the possibilities of people going to that gig.
You know what's really cool about that too is that like once, let's say, there's been times where I've taken the flyer and not known any of the bands, and I'm like, I'm free tonight, I'm just gonna go check it out. And then, like, you remember the guy that handed it to you, you're like, oh, there's that guy again. And then you watch him play, like they blow your mind. You're like, oh fuck, this man's sick. Like, what the fuck? Like that happened to me with Zoth, with Joseph going like, oh yeah, Zoth is playing, and I was like, I've never heard of them. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll go. Like, it sounds like a fun show. And I was like, at the end of the show, I was like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are like necrophagous thrash. Like, I never.
So
oh, dude, it's insane. And they have like these battle solos that are just like, I was like, I was like, what the fuck? And they're just like, we're not signing any label. We're just gonna keep it underground forever. And, like, all this shit. And I was like, damn, man.
Whole reason why we had him on, because you were so stoked on him, because it was that whole all organic experience for you, and you immediately came back from that show like, dude, you guys need to fucking check this band out. And we all checked it out, and we're like, yo, it's so awesome to find bands like that. Like, I know you're gonna hate me saying this, Joel, but Pavor is one of those bands as well. Do it all for themselves. No mute. Come on.
It was 1 second, dude.
I know, but you don't even know what part of that sentence got muted. So now the people who listen,
I think you
maybe
said,
hey, what's going on here? Hey, children, settle down. What's happening? What's going on? Hey,
we're about to fight, dude.
Papa's the eldest member of this podcast has to chime in for a second and tell y'all,
settle down.
I'm the first
one
to
to
turn
turn
40, and y'all better listen.
Yeah, dude, we haven't even hit the
Put my
hour
foot
mark
down.
yet. I still have 3.5 White Claws tall cans to go, dude. Might get a little frisky.
Nice.
Just don't drink those surges and you'll be fine.
But no, so back to
I was just saying finding the whole point to that was there's these gems that are all about just, we're about our music. We don't want anybody else to have anything to do with how we put it out. We want 100% of the profits because it's our art. I respect all that shit, and they're just as quality as some of the bands that we know and love today. Just they're doing it. The same thing with Son of Aurelius. That it's the DIY thing that the whole scheme of the industry kind of fucks those bands, because you really have to grind and make that like 100% your what you're doing in order to try and push your band, but you still have to go through all these hoops to be a DIY band and get in across the eyes of a band that would be signed to Metal Blade or something like that. And unfortunately, it's something that kind of hurts those types of bands too, but they still exist and they still make just as good art as any of those signed bands, you know? And yeah, I don't know where to end this other than that. The point I'm making is it's harder for those bands.
I was gonna let you sit with it.
I made a point there, right?
That was a good point.
It was very profound, dude, for sure.
That's profound.
All right.
Carry on.
All right, yeah. So, I mean, no, that actually was a good point. But like going back to you're jamming with like back in high school. So, what high school did you go to? Because you probably went to Terra Nova or something, right?
Well, okay, so I started. I went to Oceana actually, but I think I was jamming. I mean, I was jamming with my brother super early, like because we lived together.
Yeah.
But I didn't like join my first band until senior year. But yeah, so like 2009, I was a freshman, and then I didn't get in my first band until 2011. So
nice.
Yeah,
so you said you were doing covers and stuff mainly too, right? To start off.
Yeah. So
what were you covering?
Oh man, we still have a bunch of Tascam fucking footage, but we were doing like Belphegor, like Suffocation, Exodus, Immortal was like one of our favorite bands. Like we flew down to see them in LA in like 2009 or something. Like just like stuff like that. Just just catchy, fast, evil music.
And how old were you when you did this?
Let's see. I'd say like maybe 13, 14.
Jesus. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because like I was gonna throw in the timeline too. 2007, Ozfest was really important for me. That was one of the first big shows I went to. Because it was Nile and Behemoth, So those were two of my favorite bands when I was like 12. So those are like the only CDs I had. I had like 2 CDs growing up. Actually, like 3: Nile, Behemoth, and Exhumed. And I was just like, this is the show. And it like really opened my eyes to like how hard that extreme kind of music hits you live. So
oh, totally, dude. I remember.
That is cool. Yeah, they were actually like inviting like the heavier, crazier. Because when I started, I mean, I saw those Ozfests as well, but I remember like ours was like Slayer was the crazy one. It was like
my headliners were System of a Down and Black Sabbath.
Yeah. I've been to that one.
Those were the two and it was Ozzy with Black Sabbath. That was like that was a big experience too, even for a kid that was young and not fully into Black Sabbath. That made me pay attention to Black Sabbath. Was seeing that shit live and knowing about Ozzy. But yeah,
what's fun about Ozfest? So the same thing with me, Adam. That's like going to those festivals when I was a kid. Because when I was a little kid, I was like, it's funny, I'm just doing this now, but I was interviewing bands for a website, and like I was like 14 going to Ozfest. Like I don't even remember what the headliners were that year, but I was like, I know Soulfly was playing, and there's some other. I remember seeing a guy there with like a Dying Fetus shirt on. And I was like, whoa, that guy's like, fuck that guy. That guy's scary, dude. I was like the 90s.
Call the name Dying Fetus.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's still that like I would go to like the Mayhem Fest or whatever, where there's like and Whitechapel's playing. I'm friends with them, so I'm like, I'll go check it out. But like, there's not really a band I'm trying to go see. It's kind of that nostalgia of going to that same venue at Shoreline Amphitheater and like going there and like walking around in the big metal festival. Like, there's not like a band I'm like excited about, but it's that old like Ozfest going there, and like that's what. And
now you can do it with a beer in your hand.
Yeah. I know. I can't believe I used to walk around with no beer in my hand. What the fuck was I
would bring a pack of cigarettes. I would bring a pack of cigarettes, and I would take. I would smoke 4 of them, replace them with joints, and then that's what I would take into a festival like that. When I was that age, I didn't really care about drinking. It was just I can get some weed in. And then you're out, even being on the grass just during the day, just fucking bands are playing. You're smoking a joint. You're fucking laying on a.
And it's so new. It's so new to you. Like that whole like a big festival of metal. You're like, it's kind of like our version of Europe, kind of. Because Europe does that like normally, but like for us, it's like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that was like my first like pro show that I went to, like first actual production show, because I grew up going to see my brother play with his band. They were called Illuma Negra from Pacifica as well. And they were like playing blast beats and shit too, but also kind of thrashy. So I was just going to like their shows, like small local shows. And then, yeah, that Ozfest show happened, and I was like, damn, like this is sick.
Yeah.
And seeing those bands play for that many people too, like seeing like Behemoth and stuff, and Nile or whatever. Was it Nile too? Nile and Behemoth?
Yeah, Nile, Behemoth, and then whatever in between. Chimera. Yeah.
And just seeing that, like that kind of aggressive style of music get that kind of like fanfare, you know, you're just like, whoa, the sick guys are getting the crowds now.
I remember it so clearly too, because it was outside, and it was like they were in the parking lot or whatever playing, and I just remember seeing a tornado pit, because me and my dad were looking like, oh, where's the stage? Where's the stage? I was like, we gotta hurry up. Nile's about to play, because Nile played like second or some shit, like super early.
Like at noon or something.
Yeah. And then we were just looking, and then they started, and we just see like a tornado of dirt from the mosh pit, and they were playing Sacrifice unto Sabik, and I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah. Those kind of memories stick with me too. Just like,
oh, totally.
Just seeing that band that you're like, you think is like, you got this underground thing or something that you're into, and then you see like everyone's into it, and you're like, oh shit, this is like what I want to play for this crowd. You know, like this crowd looks sick. Like I want to play for this crowd.
Exactly. Know? Yeah. I was always just like, man, I want to do this someday. So it was cool, man. I really enjoyed that experience.
Oh yeah. I mean, watching bands open for Cannibal Corpse, I was like, dude, they're probably millionaires, dude. I was like a little kid, like playing at Slim's. I remember this. I forget the band name, but it was kind of like this hardcore or like metalcore, deathcore. Deathcore wasn't even a term back then, but it was like this band. I was watching them set up, and I was watching them like plug in their guitars. I'm like, you guys fucking made it, dude. That's crazy. They're probably making like $30 a day, maybe like max. You know, like they're just like barely surviving, but they're getting their name out there, and just like that's what I need to do.
You have to pay a certain amount to be on that shit, right? It's like I don't know if it was being like 70 grand.
No, I mean for Ozfest, I know Black Dahlia, you know, like that's how they got kind of like thrown into the scene was, you know, they released their first album Unhollowed, and it was already like everyone was kind of like tripping out because it was like at the Gates thing, but they looked like a certain style, and it was like all these different things at once. And then Metal Blade just forked over, I forget what Trevor told me, it was like, I think it was like $100 grand or something to get them on Ozfest. And then but after Ozfest, they had to just fucking hit the road. And they just sold out their next tour. Yeah, they sold out everything they did after that. But they were like, you know, they're playing the Pound and stuff like that after, but they were playing like those size venues. But that's how they recouped like that expense that Metal Blade invested in them. Was like, we believe in you guys. Here's $100 grand to get on Ozfest and play with, you know, with like Ozzy and all these crazy people. And then that's how they exploded so quickly. That record label like threw that money at them, and they just said, fuck it, we're in for like 9 to 10 months a year touring. You know, like I know we're gonna be fucking in for the long haul, you know.
Yeah, and they totally killed it too. Like they were one of the most successful bands in like the extreme metal, you know.
Definitely. And shout out to Brian real quick, because that was, I watched the video, and then I talked to him kind of afterwards a little bit, but you know, they just did the show in Detroit, the Trevor show, and I did not know what to expect. You know, we've toured with them back in the day, but I didn't know Brian could do vocals. I'd never seen him do vocals.
Right.
And I watched the video, and Cheney was there. She was like sending me videos and stuff, and yeah, he fucking did great. I was like, whoa, this band is gonna live on. And I was talking to a few other people, and they're like, dude, I think they're gonna tour it with Ryan from Arsis and then Brandon from Arsis, the old two Arsis guys on guitars. I know. And then what's his name from fucking that we've had on the podcast? Jesus Christ, I can't think of names. The drummer.
Alan. There's been so many drummers.
I know.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's gonna do, I guess supposedly they're talking about possibly doing like a keep it going touring. It's not just gonna be like a fun, like you know, like a RIP show. It's gonna be like, no, you know, because you know Trevor doesn't want that shit to die. You know, he doesn't want Black Dahlia to go away. So I think Brian, who's the other original member, is gonna carry the torch and keep that band going, which is fucking awesome. And he does a great job on vocals. So great stage banner, everything. He's like a natural vocalist. So I was like, I had no idea. Anyways,
Yeah, and that's not an easy like vocal style to emulate either. Like Trevor
totally.
had range, like he was insane, dude.
Yeah, and Brian was nailing like the highs and lows and doing all. I was like, whoa, dude, like you fucking killed it. No, I think
That's
it's
so cool.
yeah, I'm super stoked on that. But anyways,
Happy
Alan
for them.
Cassidy.
That's awesome.
Adam,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked on that too, dude. But let's get back on you again. Shout out real quick to Dusty. I just saw him pop up in the chat.
Dusty's the homie.
Yeah, dude. And he actually was seeing if you talked about your brother's band with Mondo and Blaze. Is that
Yeah,
what it's called?
so quick shout out, my brother, super proud of him. They just put out their first album, and Blaze is his new band yesterday, actually. Yeah, it's him and the former drummer of Illuma Negra on drums, and it's super ripping, very sick. Yeah, you guys should check it out.
So, and Mondo is an old member of Severed Savior as well. If people
Yeah.
are wondering why
That's right.
he was mentioned.
Yeah, Armando's the homie too, man. Good dudes. Check it out. In Blaze 777. That's their
Nice.
handle on Instagram. So fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
That's cool, dude. All right, so I want to know when you decided you were gonna pick up drums.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, 5 years old ish, 5 or 6 maybe. My mom puts me to Manor Music, which is a local music store, tiny store in Pacifica. And I take lessons with this guy named Ned, this old hippie dude. He was super nice, but I just wasn't into it or catching on to it too quickly because I feel like we did the same lesson like for 2 months.
Yeah.
So I wasn't super really into that. And then I always kind of expressed that like I like drums more, but they didn't want to go. My parents obviously did not want to go to the drumming route because we lived in a residential area and drums are loud. So no parent wants their kids to play drums. That's just kind of the way it is. But so what happened is they kind of started to see that I was super interested in drums, and they start off by everyone likes Ned.
Everybody's saying fucking Ned.
Fucking Ned, man.
Fucking Ned.
Manor
Anyway.
Music's where I bought my first PA and where my brother bought his first guitar too. It was our local, yeah, it's a local, pretty much the only place you could buy any music equipment in Pacifica, which is actually cool because I'm sure most small towns like that don't have that, and if they do, it's small and most people don't go there. Well, actually, no, there was Blue Moon Music too down in Crespi. That was a really small room.
Yeah.
Really small, barely any inventory, and that's
They had like 2 sticks and like 4 drums.
yeah, a couple guitars and a keyboard.
They got something.
Let's get back to Ned, dude.
Yeah, so Ned,
fucking Ned, dude.
I think after like a few months, I just got impatient. I was like, no, I don't want to play guitar. I know I want to play drums because I would like play on pillows, literally like sometimes play on pots and pans because I needed something to hit. So my mom eventually rented a snare drum for me from Manor Music, and we put the rubber silencer, I guess is the term, like a pad over it, so it's not super loud.
Yeah.
And then because I think they were just trying to see like, okay, let's just see if he's invested so we don't drop money, because drums are expensive. Like drums are, I think, are the most expensive part of a band is the drum set. It's ridiculous, but it's like the best instrument. It sucks. Anyway, yeah, so I got that rental snare and I was just playing that thing like crazy. And then one day, my dad took us all for a walk to Manor Music, and there was this metallic green PV drum set sitting in there, and green was like my favorite color.
Green was mine too, dude. So I'm already on your side. Like, it's
the seafoam or seafoam green.
Wayne's World moment.
It was like, dude, it was like army green. It was badass.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like a darker green. I could already picture it right now, and it's the Wayne's World moment where it's just like, oh
yeah.
So this will be mine. Oh yes, this will be mine.
It was sitting there, and it just looked perfect. Obviously, if I looked at it today, it was just like, what's this piece of shit, $100 whatever. But it was like back then, it was just like, this is so cool. And Manor Music, for those who don't know, they're like sponsored by PV, so it was a PV drum set.
Oh
Wow.
shit!
Didn't know they made them, but
Secret PV set.
yeah. So my dad pulled the trigger on that and bought it for me, and it was like the best shit ever. And I remember I played a lot of sports growing up, so I played a lot of basketball and baseball. So then I didn't take drumming too serious, but I was still stoked on it. So like maybe every weekend or every other weekend I'd play. And then what else? I bought we got a Pearl drum set, I think in 2009 or 10, and that's when things got like better because the equipment was better. Because I used to just like duct tape sticks and duct tape heads on the PV drum set, like, you know, I didn't know any better. I just dead in the heads.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I got a Pearl Vision kit that was black on black, super badass. That was like 2010. And then that's when I was like, oh, like this is it's a lot easier to play on a drum set like this with better hardware, you know? So, and a Pearl Vision's like equivalent to an export. It's just like all reliable, you know?
Yeah.
So as soon as I was jamming on that, I started getting like a little better. And then me and my brother were jamming more frequently. And we were just jamming a lot of covers. And this kind of leads to joining my first band, making my first band. He knew this guy named Ryan Daniel who lived in Pacifica as well. Super shredder. He used to play in a band called Knee High and Dwarves. very
I remember
Pacifica.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
he was Terra Nova kid too. I think he knows you guys actually.
Yeah, I
His two first
played
names.
with them. I played with them when I was in a band called Flatline.
Sick.
That was my high school band.
Oh,
And at your age, I don't know if you would
Flatline.
have come across my brother, but my brother was in a band called Remorseless. He was the drummer. That was
No, they were sick though.
They actually were sick, dude. That demo is still cool. But yeah, that was all the Flatline, dude. I was just actually not to bring it back on me real quick, but I was talking to Casey about this recently, and sorry, Adam, I'm going to take it back into the weeds for a second, dude. But with this move and going through my stash of CDs, I've been finding a lot of gems, and it's you know, I found a cool stack of demos of bands that have opened up for Odious on the Bloodletting tour. Not just Odious, but the opening for the Bloodletting tour. And but I'm also finding demos of bands that I played with in Flatline too. And there's this one band called Distratic from Fairfield, Vacaville area. And I don't know who's going to listen to this. And if anybody out there knows any of the dudes from a band called it's actually with a Y though, not an I. You almost got it though. I mean, no, that's probably the correct way to spell it, but the Y instead of the I.
Sick, dude.
It's actually a really good like new metal demo, and I remember playing shows with those guys when I was in Flatline and having fun with them, and I just been thinking about them ever since I found their demo. So if anybody can put me in touch with one of those dudes, that probably is a long shot, but I'm just saying I can't find anything about them online, and I don't remember any of their names, but I just remember having fun with these dudes, being like 15 years old and actually doing real shows. And around, like, there was the 23 Club in Brisbane where we would fucking play there, and it's just the beginning of all that shit for me. So anyways, dude, Distratic.
Cool.
But Pacifica has come, you know, like Dan Kenny and me, we all came out of Pacifica. Metal got it definitely got into the veins of Pacifica. There's enough cool bands that have actually come out of this town for being a beach town where we like to wear shorts and sandals, dude.
Yeah. No, yeah. Pacifica was rad, dude.
And I was like, once you say the word Pacifica to Anthony, you're fucked.
I love this town, dude. Even though I'm gonna move out of it soon. I still love it. I'll always come back and visit. And
well, it was funny because all three of us were getting ready before Anthony came on. It was like the last one, like getting ready before we went live. And he was like, "Oh, you're from Pacifica?" And we're like, "Oh, dude."
Here we go.
Now we know, like,
his eyes lit up. I was like, he's in Pacifica right now, like fucking whatever, Terra Nova or whatever the fuck you remember.
Yeah, dude, that's my high school, Terra Nova.
Or like
graduating class 2002.
Anyway, so I won't go into that.
What do you think about that Taco Bell? That's
It's actually not good, dude. Everybody wants to go to that.
They
Taco
serve
Bell 'cause it's
booze
on the
there,
beach.
though. They serve
It's
booze.
in now, so it's a little better.
You can get an IPA there, but dude, really, if you're gonna compare Taco Bells, they don't fucking make that good a Taco Bell. I mean,
Okay.
Taco Bell can only get to a certain level.
All right,
They're not there.
Adam's got some opinions on this. All right.
For anybody listening that wants to visit or go to Pacifica, don't go to the Taco Bell. Go to Guerrero's Taqueria.
That's what's up, dude.
that is
Valimar, bro.
probably top 3 taquerias in the Bay Area, in my opinion.
Hell yeah, dude. I agree with that. I would go to Guerrero's all the motherfucking time, dude.
Dang.
And it's a bitch getting in and out of there because that light sucks at that intersection. But it's worth it, dude.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
It's halfway between me and you, basically.
Right.
You probably travel the same distance from Manor to get there versus me from Lindemar.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some. I guess we get some negative feedback. They've been doing it wrong lately.
Oh no, dude.
Well,
I actually haven't been there in several years, so I'm gonna go off of what I remember.
The only reason I brought up the Taco Bell is because it's like on the beach. It's like a Taco Bell on the like, people
That, for listeners that don't know what's going on. There's a Taco Bell on the beach.
Yeah, she'll explain this.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful beach. It's an insane coastline beach, and I'm sure the city of Pacifica has been trying to get that fucking Taco Bell out of there forever. But I'm sure they bought it like way early on, and they're just like, no, we're not leaving. It's on. It's like literally on like a beautiful stretch of beach. It's like looks like Hawaii, and like okay, so Pacifica's next to San Francisco,
but I know what you're saying.
It's next to San Francisco to everyone that's not
15
from
minutes
here.
south of San
Just
Francisco.
south,
Yeah,
Super
but like
close.
it's another world from San Francisco. It's not San Francisco. Like San Francisco's it's like a concrete jungle compared to like this like Hawaii thing. You go into like this. It looks like Hawaii. I've been at your like Anthony's house and Pat's house and stuff, and I'm looking at these like mountains and they're all green and huge, and there's like nice fog coming on this beach.
I say, dude. I say turn up the green by like 20%, and you're in fucking Maui right now, dude. But then you got different weather and shit.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, it's like that. But like you're in Taco Bell and you're like ordering and you're looking out and there's the ocean, like you're on the beach. It's like it's like a fucking chart house, like fish plate or some kind of like you're on the fucking beach. Like it's like you're ordering Taco Bell.
Yeah, but their fucking cheesy gordita crunch isn't fucking up to par, dude.
And I mean, but didn't Dan Kenny always say like special herbs and spices that
the 7-layer burrito?
it's like that's a special Taco Bell or some shit. What was that?
Sorry,
it just looks special. I don't think it's. I've been there before too. It's like
no,
it's sure not. I mean, Taco
Bell.
Bell.
Murray shout out La Playa.
La
Playa is also on the beach. It's it's just a little south of that Taco Bell.
Oh, La Playa! You've taken me to La Playa. That's awesome.
I've taken you to La Playa. Yeah. It's
super good.
It's a good taqueria type place, and their margaritas are fucking creepers, dude.
That's what you got me,
dude. Get a pitcher of margaritas. At 2, you're feeling great. At 3, you're blacked out.
Damn.
That's literally what it is.
No, I literally, you took me there, and I was like, I had to drive home that day, and I was like, I'll have one. Like, it's all good. I can have one and just be chill. And like, I was like, cool, dude. We'll have to hang out with your family for another like 6 hours because I'm like, I'm not gonna drive Highway 1 back to Santa Cruz like, so you know, because that's I'm not gonna go with Devil's Slide. I'm not gonna do Devil's Slide right now.
No, do not do that.
Yeah.
Love all the local references, by the way. You guys are just reminding me how much I love my city.
Cool. I'm glad you're leaving.
I'm never leaving. My heart. Well, you know that song. My heart isn't. My heart's in San Francisco. My heart's in Pacifica, dude.
Always.
Tight. Let's get back to high school.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Why not? Is that where we're at? We're at like
no.
We're at the snare drum, and then deciding.
And then I got the new kit.
There. Oh yeah. Sorry, you got the new kit.
Yeah. So new kit. I was like. 14 or 15, so that's like 09, 2010 or whatever. And I forgot to mention it had 3 rack toms instead of 2, and that was just like this is so sick because like Inferno, George Colias, like Mike Smith, like all the cool drummers, Casey.
You're looking at that kit like it's Neil Peart's kit with the extra tom. You like
you can finally complete your role. You know?
Yes, no, I know. Like, and I hated back then. I didn't like going to the 4 tom for rolls. So I would always like to do those totally. Fills. I'm just like, this is so cool.
Yeah, I remember seeing Deeds and Disgorge and stuff like in 2000 on that first bloodletting tour, and they didn't have floor toms, There's just only racks.
Really?
Yeah,
just
Ricky
no
and
part.
Mike, I guess
Yeah,
they didn't
pretty
use
sick.
it, and Mike, I think, just got one a couple years ago. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
They were like, "Yeah, it's Mike's first floor top or whatever." I was like, "This is sick."
I can't remember. Yeah, he had his kit in my room for a while. It was weird, like in Santa Cruz.
Was it that like, metallic aluminum looking kit?
No, it was the sonar one after, like the
Oh
Deeds,
shit!
with the 20-inch kicks. I think it was. It was a Sonar S series. I think.
I think he still has that, dude.
Yeah, that thing was incredible. Yeah, but like there was a short period where like when I was in Santa Cruz when I was playing in Decrepit, like, and I had like extra space, and he was like up there, and he got his kit from Colin Davis from Vile, and like we went and picked it up in Concord.
Mhm.
Excuse me. And then he brought it back and like kept it at my place for a while, and I had it like in my bedroom for like a few months, or I don't know how long it was. But
That's
it
so
was just like
cool.
I just woke up every day and there's just like Viking kick drums like in front of me, just like, oh shit.
Yeah, Vikings with like the sword and shit, just staring at
Yeah,
you.
it was that cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so dope.
So, and Ned gave you the lessons and
Yeah, it didn't work out with fucking Ned. It didn't work out with Ned. So my mom got me the rental snare drum, and then that was like 7 or 8 years old. And the only reason I can remember because I broke my arm in second grade, and one of the things they told me I couldn't do was play drums for like 6 weeks, and I was like, damn it,
yeah.
So that's like kind of my reference point for drums. But
Did did you actually wait the whole 6 weeks?
No.
No.
I still played it, but it was shitty because it was like a whole cast. I broke my wrist, so I would just play shitty. But whatever, had to get some time in there. But yeah, so I got the new Pearl kit like 2009 or 10, and then me and my brother were like starting to play a lot more frequent. And then we met that guy Ryan Daniel that I was telling you about. And he was jamming with Ryan on the side when I was jamming with Larby as well. And then I heard he was jamming with somebody else. And I was like, no, fuck that. Like, let's do our thing. Like, let's make some like Behemoth, Belphegor, Blackened death metal, because it was like I loved that shit back then.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, like come like let's try jamming with Ryan once. Let's see how it goes. And I was like, fine, like just being pissy about it. And then we jam, and it happened to be super sick because it ended up being the band Ion, the first band that I started with those guys.
Okay.
And
yeah.
We started out like Blackened grind. We didn't know what the hell we were doing, and then it kind of slowly made its way to be atmospheric black metal and so on. But that was the beginning. It was me, my brother Larby, and Ryan on guitar. So we were doing 3-piece, and we played our first show at Winter's Tavern when I was still in high school. I thought that was cool.
I love Winters, dude.
Dude, Winter's is awesome.
We started the Severed tour there in 2012.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
And that's dude, I almost was able to see that show, but I was being too honest because I was gonna go in and sneak in because it's 21 plus, and I was like, fuck.
How old were you at the time?
That's 2012, so I was 18.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And the dude at first, he was like, oh, you played drums tonight, right? And I was
could
like,
have said, yeah, dude.
I know. I was just
there wasn't passes for the artists or anything like that. He didn't know anything.
I know. I was too nice. I was just like, oh no, you confused me for somebody else. And he's like, huh, okay, but seriously, let me see some ID. And I was like, God
damn it. So you were almost there. You actually made the attempt and got out there, and you were hanging out outside, and you're like, I'm gonna try and get in somehow.
Yeah, and then I just kind of stayed outside for a little bit, and I was like, this is depressing, man.
Yeah. Waiting outside of a show does suck, dude.
You just do the Anthony technique. You just yell at him and stuff.
Well, okay, so Casey's referencing. I know I'm now bringing it away from you again. I'm sorry, dude, but Casey's referencing a situation where I was underage. We were playing Brick by Brick in San Diego, and Ivan was underage, and because I was playing in my band Carnivorous at the time, so Ivan Mungia was the guitar player, Danny Bohegan was the bass player, Troy was the drummer, I was the vocalist, and Troy was the only one of age to go in, and Danny and Ivan found their way in, but I didn't. But since I was a performer that night, they let me perform, but they had to escort me outside as soon as I finished playing, and Ivan and Danny got to stay for the rest of the night, and I had to sit outside the fucking venue all night. We're the opening band. There's 4 bands on the bill. Couldn't watch anybody play that night, you know.
So what happened that you were like yelling or getting all mad though?
Well, I just said like we ended the set and I said fuck security. That's all I just kept talking. Well, maybe it wasn't just at the end. I was kind of talking shit about security in between songs or something like that, you know. And they were just waiting side stage.
So what do you think?
I was even like, this is so
is this an Anthony podcast?
Bitch, you've been talking way more than me tonight, dude.
I just took a piss again, girl. Dude, I was fucking going to this place and I was outside and I like went to this thing and then I
was talking about it was relevant. It was relevant.
Oh yeah, I just came in though.
Yeah.
I know. It was just the last part. Sorry.
But it was, yeah.
Let's get back to Adam's story.
Hothead talking shit about security when really they're just doing their fucking job. You know, now I'm
I just love remembering Anthony yelling at them, dude.
I know, on a microphone in front of a crowd, just like I was even like looking at them when I was yelling at them.
I know, I was there. I was like, whoa, I snuck in, dude.
Much older than me, just like look at this fucking idiot.
I snuck in too. I snuck in with you too, and I got in. I went into the bathroom and sat down and pretend like I was taking for 2 hours.
Ivan, Dan,
I was 21. I was all haha.
Oh
it literally
man,
was like half.
So was that like? I know I took a piss, but we were talking about like playing shows like in bars and stuff before.
Well, he was talking about Winters, and now it's funny. It's gonna sound like we were talking about me more because we.
No. But yeah, my first show was at Winters.
Because his first show was at Winters, and then I was like me, and I started talking about the Severed starting the tour there, and he tried to get into that show, but he was underage. All right, now we're up to par.
Yeah, no, that happened a lot to me too. Like, because Ion started playing 2012, and anytime we played a bar, because if you're a local band, like you can't play clubs yet because no one knows you. I would always just be that guy standing outside with my drums, just warming up because I wasn't of age. So yeah, I feel you on that.
Right.
I mean, that's how I met like Odious people. Was me and David were 20. We were, I think Origin was playing. So it's Paul Ryan going into your other band, like we were like we couldn't get in, but we're like they're playing an Aptos like down the street from me. I'm like I'm gonna stand outside and listen to it, you know. Like I'm not gonna not go to Origin playing an Aptos. Like I'm gonna somehow be a part of this. But yeah, that was tough being young, you know, the 21 and over stuff. Now I'm like, make it all 21 and over. Let's just fucking have a good time. I don't want the roped off like alcohol area where you're stuck. You have to be all like smashed into shows, you know, for the
Yeah,
I know it's a toss up, right? But like at the all ages shows that you got like a ton of people, which is kind of cool too, you know.
And kids buy merch.
Yeah,
dude. Just put the X's on their back of their hands.
Yeah, like just have it like legally done, man. Just get them, you know. But I know
the owner of like DNA Lounge, or I think it was DNA Lounge. He told me that once because they had to shut down their alcohol thing because someone gave a minor alcohol, and it was.
Sucks.
He was like, no, it's not. The fine is $10,000. He's all the red tape I went through was like $150,000.
Oh, dude,
like,
it wasn't a cool deal.
Yeah, it wasn't 10,000. That's what they make it seem like. It's all cute, like it's a fine. But like all the money he lost, everything like
legal fees,
like, huge. Yeah, so like that's why the security is so brutal about it, and I get it. You know,
of course. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like me now, looking back on me being an idiot on stage, that guy was. They were just doing their job and following the rules and making sure their business wouldn't be shut down. And I'm just like this fucking guy, like, fuck you guys, I hate you.
Yeah, fuck you.
You're just such a rebel, Anthony. It's hard,
such a rebel, dude.
It's hard.
And I was doing it in sandals, guys.
Yeah, just wild man. Dude.
All right, dude. And I'm gonna try not to bring it back to one of us. We want to hear you. You're our guest tonight, dude. I'm having fun though. I hope everybody else is having fun.
Totally, man.
But yeah, dude. Okay, so when you got the kit, how long was it before you had Ion and your brother was in it, right? So the middle brother didn't play?
The middle brother did not play. He pursued more sports. So that
Okay.
was his thing. Because it's kind of hard to like delegate time as you get older, you know? So he was the sports guy. So he kind of like fell off a little bit. But me and my older brother kept playing.
That's what's up.
So yeah. I also just thought of another important show that I thought I should mention was Summer Slaughter 2009. That was super sick.
What was
Okay.
that, Bill?
That was necrophages,
Oh, yeah.
suffocation, dying fetus, origin, decrepit birth, Insperum. Like, dude, it was so many sick drummers.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't believe it, dude. So that also inspired me to want to do it more because it's like, Suffocation was one of my favorite bands growing up, still is. So
Watching those dudes on stage is you're at church, dude. That's that's the best way I could describe, especially that era. You
There should
know,
be a thing for like sick drummer who's like really sick, like puking in a bucket sick. Like,
yeah.
Oh, dude, that
he's
one
like,
video
the
of
drummer who could barely play. He's like sick drummer. He's like,
no, that video of the dude from Flesh God that keeps going around of him like trying to play, that he keeps like vomiting, and they're just like,
I'd love to see that.
yeah,
literally
and,
sick drummer.
you know, Krim, he was playing with Decapitated when we did the
Yeah,
Decapitated
Crim's
tour.
super sick.
It's brutal.
Yeah, Krim was like behind him, going like, "Dude, you're done. We're cutting it." Like,
Yeah,
he's like trying to help him. He's like, he's sitting there playing. He's like, just fucking.
That's dedication,
projectiling.
though, dude.
I know
dedication.
it was actually inspiring, like watching him push through it and just be like, "No,
he's
dude,
like,
I'm not."
He's really
quitting,"
trying.
you know?
Yeah.
And you just see his face. I'm like, he's about to go to the fucking hospital. Like he might pass away. Like this is not good.
But
yeah.
His art is more important until he can't physically do it anymore. You know.
Yeah,
That's just like it's a tougher style of people too. Like we're European dudes like in metal bands. It's like they're serious as fuck. Like they're not worried about like they're just like they want to play their music and that's it. And they don't want to be the one guy to like take everyone down. So they're like, no, it's like he's literally dying. Like his face is like got purple. He's got purple like bags under his eyes and he's just vomiting. And it's like, and they're like, no, they're like, dude, you're done. And they're like, sorry guys, we have to go. And everyone's like, everyone understood. Everyone's like, Jesus Christ, man, like. We got to see the show where the guy like almost died, you know, like it's still like a accomplishment that he, you know, put forth to the audience. But
you said it was Flesh God, the Flesh God drummer.
Yeah. I'll
so fast, dude. Like that's insane how he was puking while going like probably 250 BPM.
No, it was a mellow part. It was kind of like a symphonic part, but I think maybe he was supposed to be going faster, but that's all he could do. That's like all his body could do. He was like his body was shutting down. I'm like,
wow.
It was like on memory.
Flesh God apocalypse.
Are you saying you had to switch to 2-foot blasts?
Drummer joke. Anyways, I mean, you joining, what year did you join Cartilage and get that all going?
Yeah, so because Ion, I eventually left Ion in like 2018, but in 2013 December, because we used to put on our own shows just because like, you know, when you're a small band and there's so much competition in the Bay Area, no one wants to book you unless you know people. I didn't know anybody then. So I used to book at this place called Submission in San Francisco, which also used to go by Balazzo, like before that. I don't know if you guys remember that place.
No.
Submission and both of those are from. So the Balazzo, what is that again?
So it was just this like punk, like super punk, like place to play, like no bigger, like it was like maybe like you can fit a couple hundred max in there, maybe 50. And it was this punk place in Mission Street, San Francisco. And it used to go by Balazzo like 15 years ago or so. And then it changed its name to Submission. And they would have like super easy deals. I would contact the guy and he'd be like, yeah, $5 shows. You guys can take the door. We'll take the alcohol. Cool. All ages. Anyway, I put a show on there with Ion and then this other band from the East Bay called Septicemia, which was this sick. This is 2013, like December. It was Ion, Illuma Negra, and Septicemia. And Septicemia had Mark, who's now in Cartilage, Mark Wallace, and Mike Flory, who's also now in Cartilage. So they played that show with their slam band Septicemia back then. And I guess they were looking to start like a death grind band back then. And they saw me play with Ion, and they were like, dude, like we like the way you play, like, and I didn't know them super well. I met Mark maybe once at a Cannibal Corpse show, but I didn't think much of him then. I was just like, this guy's a sick vocalist, but I guess, you know, he's already in bands, so I can't play with him. But I knew Mike Flory because, sorry, I'm just remembering everything. I used to also play in a death cover band from 2012 to like 2014, and Mike Flory was in that. It was called Voice of the Soul.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hell
So
yes.
I knew Mike from that, but I also knew Mike. Mike is also from Logistic Slaughter as well.
Sick.
So yeah, I knew Mike and I knew he was super talented. So when him and Mark approached me, and Mark's sister Rhea was at the show too, because I knew Mark and Rhea also from Feast. Do you guys remember the band Feast?
I do.
Yes, very ripping like band, local
Totally.
band that went on for like a few years. That like everyone knew Feast in the underground scene. It was super sick.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, they approached me and they straight up said that they liked my playing and that they're putting on like a band that's a little more like death grindy, like Carcassy, Exhumed. And I was like, dude, I love Exhumed, I love Carcass, like fuck yeah, let's do it. And then we had our first jam April 2014, and then we put out our first EP, It's Necrotic, in 2015, and then just kept going. So that's when Cartilage started.
So, there, I don't know how far into Cartilage. Is it Nick from Continuum? Was he in the band for a little bit?
Yeah. So Nick never recorded an album. He did like a tour and like a West Coast tour, and he never recorded with us, but he was in the band for like about a year, and we knew him because he was also in Flesh Consumed, and
That's right. And continue. Yeah.
Eviscerate.
Oh, Eviscerate. Yeah. Santa Cruz.
Yeah, so he was in that band too. And those guys, by the way, like Mark Rhea are from Concord, so they all knew those guys because they're from Concord. Mike's from Livermore, so they're all East Bay guys. I've always been Peninsula, so they all knew Nick and Taylor and all those guys. Nick is super talented, shredder.
Yeah, totally.
He helped us out for a year. He was super rad, and then I mean we've had like 6 bass players. So we probably got the one.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, there's always one. Yeah, go on.
There's always one. What?
There's always one like part of the band that's always like a revolving door. Like I feel like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, we had like 6 bass players.
So I was gonna say, so let's get back onto that, the timeline of that band. So they're like, we like your style of playing,
right?
So what was the first jam sessions like? Did they already have music written? And you know, when did you start adding to the writing process? All that stuff. When did the first? You said the demo.
Yeah, so we put out our
EP. Yeah.
Yeah, we put out like an EP in 2015. But when I first talked to them in December 2013, they had like 2, you know, MIDI guitar like demo things. Like one was a MIDI guitar demo, and then one was like just Mike's guitar. So one of them was the song "Cannot Stop the Clot," and then the other one was El Necrocabra, I think. And they had like, you know, recorded drums and stuff. So they had this vision. I can't remember for how long, but they've been wanting to make a band like this for a while. So they had demos. And then me and Rhea, the guitar player, we jammed in April 2014. We had the first jam. And then, yeah, those guys would commute from Concord to San Francisco at my space, RHL in San Francisco, over near Bayshore and somewhere else. So.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
Anthony, take off to go pee. Okay.
Yeah, I might actually have to pee too. Can I do a quick pee?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
No pee. No. What are you guys doing? No. There's no pee.
So there's two pissers up top, but that's cool. I mean,
yes. So
Cartilage was like a band that like someone told me about. And I felt like it was a band that was around forever that I like missed out on. I was like, oh yeah, like I thought it was like Cartilage, Exhumed, Ghoul, and I was like, oh, they're coming back or something. That's like when I saw them, and I was like, pretend like I knew, like, oh yeah, Cartilage, I know Cartilage, like, you know, like their old stuff. I was like trying to kind of hold that together, but I remember seeing them live, and I was like, it had that. It was fun, dude. It had like that fun. So if you guys are listening, like that fun style of theatrics. They had like a guy with like a chef thing with like the blood on him, and he's like coming out with like it's kind of like a Gore ghoul kind of style, and I like was completely fucking blown away by it. I was like super stoked. And then Anthony moved to Pacifica. You got like a
Just keep going.
yeah. So no. But it was a PS sesh right there. But
It was a serious.
how sick was Cartilage live? Because I mean, we saw them that one night, and like I literally like I was just telling everyone like I thought like I was like, oh, Cartilage, that's a band that's been around since like the 90s, right? I knew it just sounded like a band that you thought you should have known, and I was like, because they were like headlining the show, and I was like, oh yeah, Cartilage, it's members of
they're from like the 60s, dude.
And
No, I'll admit that before that gig, I hadn't heard their music, and so it was the classic seeing a band for the first time live, and how I love that when it's good. And Cartilage was one of those things where I'm like, oh,
it was like entertaining. They had like the entertainment aspect too going. It was like, yeah, there was the singer. I was saying like the meat chef, the meat chef guy.
Yeah, the butcher, the blood,
bands,
and all that.
Butcher bands, dude.
If you want to go have a good, fun, clean, fun Gore fest, go watch Cartilage live, dude, because it definitely was that situation. And it took me back to, I mean, you mentioned Exhumed earlier, and not that the music sounds necessarily like Exhumed, but the live show aspect of it, where they would have, you know, Gore metal underneath their guitars. They'd flip them up. They'd fucking have the saws that they'd, you know, shoot sparks out into the crowd off of their guitars and shit like that. And then they had the character that would always come up on stage who was kind of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre type dude, blood and guts and all this crazy shit. And yeah, that's fun, dude. And not only that though, with Cartilage, you understand that there is real musicianship, like your drums and the riffing. There's very actual intricate riffs in Cartilage.
There's podcasts of me talking about after we went to that show, and there's podcasts of me being like, the fucking drummer was like standout. Like he was like, I remember I was like,
dude,
the drumming
is awesome for sure.
Like I was like, what the fuck? Like I wasn't expecting like some shredding drummer back there, and
really
I was
good.
like, yeah.
And it's
like,
all natural
whoa.
sounding too. It's super punchy on all the mixes. But like I'm gonna give it up to the guitar player and the bass player too, because there actually is some really intricate stuff if you sit and pay attention. It's not just your run of the mill Gore metal type band. Like there's actual
there's
idea,
like a couple
real
idea,
idea,
right? There's like Rhea and someone else, and the singer.
Rhea and Mike are a couple. I believe they're actually engaged, so congrats to them.
Congrats.
And Rhea is Mark's sister, so it's like a literal family.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's
awesome. And then our bass player Keenan, we've had him for a couple of years now too. But yeah, no, I was like, that was one of the standout things because I knew about Feast, and I was like, I knew how talented Mike was because Logistic Slaughter and Voice of the Soul, because he's such a sharp shredder, and I knew Rhea had riffs like for days, like filler, all riffs. Like she writes a lot of the material with Mike, and then Mark's vocals are just like enunciation, like insane. Like he gets every note in, like he's like kind of like Corpse Grinder in a way, but like he gets all those like every enunciation something, you know. It's not just filler, it's not just like growling whatever, but it's like he gets it, you know. So and we all come from a background of being like super into brutal technical death metal, like what this podcast encompasses, you know, like Paema, fucking Spawn of Possession, Deeds is like one of my favorite bands. Like we love that tech shit. So I guess that kind of gets morphed into that grind, because grind, you know, isn't as techy sometimes, but we made it into our own little formula where it can be grind and also like intricate, but not overly intricate, you know. So
there's that stuff. I mean, after seeing, you know, like you drum tech for Ghoul last week or whatever.
Oh yeah, I drum tech for Ghoul sometimes. Yeah.
I was watching you drum tech their masks and whatever. But but no, just
there's a lazy shit.
yeah, super lazy sometimes, you know.
Fuck that
You gotta do
guy.
everything for him, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like
asshole.
but it's actually that style of music and watching it live and stuff, and watching you guys and watching Ghoul recently, and we Odious has played with Ghoul too back in the day, and I was like,
Oh, sick.
it's got this like funness. It's like fun. It's like this underlying layer of fun that's built into it that like whether you know the songs or not, like I'm smiling and like having a great, you know what I mean? And I saw that at when you were mask teching for Ghoul recently. But just like Santa, it was like super packed. Everyone's having a great time. Everyone's smiling. Everyone's like fucking risking their bodies like to like jump out and just like go like the most crazy fucking like stage dives I've seen in a long time. And people just were like stage diving, coming out, doing it again. Everyone's like trying. There's like 50 stage dives I saw probably during your set, like minimum.
Yeah.
And it was like everyone's just smiling and everyone's laughing when it like someone kind of falls, kind of funny, and everyone's like hitting each other and laughing.
It's reminding me of the movie Dead Alive, dude. It's like one of the goriest movies you could ever see, but
you're
there's
smiling.
There's humor while some dude's getting his head ripped off by a zombie or some shit like that, you know. And it's that exact attitude and feeling in music.
It's a vibe to it. It's like it's like the music's aggressive, but there's a smile behind it.
We're just gonna laugh at the most gnarliest ways humans can be killed and torn apart.
It's not even. I wouldn't even say that like that style is like. I mean, there's laughing when people like blow it and fall off stage, kind of weird. But there's just like a smile, like it's just like a smile. It's not like we're not like laughing. It's like with a smile. Like It's like this. It's like a. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe from like the old school hardcore punk era. I have no idea. Like I guess maybe from Gore when that comes from, where everyone's like the music's like kind of like headbanging and stuff like that, but they're like doing funny shit and they're like making you smile.
If you're gonna hear a dude say like, and their next song is "Gashes to Ashes," you're gonna smirk a little bit before that song starts, dude.
Totally. And then they have funny banter and stuff. Like the banter is hilarious. Like and then you know like the costumes are fucking awesome, and like there's not like it's kind of almost taking how do I explain it? It's almost not making fun of death metal, but it's like making fun with death metal.
And we obviously love death metal culture and all that stuff, but you know, if you can't laugh at yourself once in a while, it's like, okay, maybe you're taking it too serious, you know?
Totally.
And we're kind of like very tongue in cheek, like you mentioned, Gashes to Ashes, or like enough crawl, I'm a donor, like all these goofy ass titles.
I'm a donor. That's another one that reading a lot of these song names have made me giggle today, dude.
Yeah, dude.
What's like funny is like it's like Anthony says is like there's probably like another infinity where like he's like he's like taking the songs like seriously, but he's like not laughing, you know, he's like all pissed. Like those song names like are like super serious, like at the same time, dude, you know.
I just clicked the Grand Icon.
That's
sick. No, but it's like a fun time, you know, like everyone's having fun, like it's like a party. It's like I mean, thrash has that too. There's some thrash bands that have that kind of vibe, like, you know, it's like you watch their videos, it's like dumping beers on each other, laughing, having a good time. Like you guys, I mean, the Cartilage and you know the drum tech gig and all that stuff. Like you guys have brought this kind of fun, like it's a style of music that is. And people want to show up to it whether they like it or not. People want to go and experience it whether they like it or not. You know what I mean? And they want to be a part of the experience. It's kind of like, you know, it goes back to Gore. Like you want to wear the white shirt and get shit on you. You know what I mean? Like
blood and
Dude, you're actually like, I'm just remembering everything from the early Cartilage days, but we used to come out with dragging our singer in an actual body bag before every show for like 2 years.
That's rad.
Yeah, there's there's videos somewhere, but like we used to drag him out in a body bag, and everyone would be like, "What's going on? Like, why is there like this like aqua blue like latex bag just sitting there, heavy aqua blue latex bag sitting there?" And then we would start the set, and our singer for every show for like 2 years until the shit broke, because you know body bags are supposed to be one-time use, right? We just used it every show for like 2 years. No, we would start it, and then as soon as we start each set, he would just fucking scream out of it and just like, you know,
he's in there with like a wireless mic or something.
No, he would. I don't know what he did with his mic. Maybe he plugged it in after, but he would just be like ready to go. Like as soon as I counted off, like he just fucking rips out of it and just like starts screaming.
Wouldn't you say that is a parody of the Norwegian black metal scene? Like that you hear the stories of Dead, the original vocalist of Mayhem, burying his clothes a week before a show, so when he could, take him out and put him on, he'd smell like he'd been buried for a week.
I mean, could be, but also if Dead just tied up his stage clothes in a bag and didn't use it for a couple weeks, then it still reeks.
Yeah. Totally.
It probably smells worse. Dirt would probably smell better than that, dude.
Well, actually, the cool thing about doing something like that, though, is because it takes away from like the serious, like we're serious metal. It's like immediately it's kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? Everyone's kind of got this like vibe to it, like changes the whole vibe of the whole.
Serious, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a parody.
Everyone's got the smile. That's what I'm talking about earlier. Like the smile comes in. It's like, oh shit, they're down to like parody and have a good time. They're down to like do something like theatrics, not like my ego is super sick, so I need to be sick. And I've toured with Vader and stuff, and I've seen the old school Polish people. Casey's going nuts with the camera. Old school Polish, they're just fucking metal, and that's like fucking serious. Like, don't fuck with this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you guys come out with like a it's like fun. It's like whether people want to like say it's not fun or not. It's like it's fucking like it brings a vibe over. It's like, oh, we're chill now. There's no like egos. Like it's all smile. It's all like, but still the music's good, but it's like fun. Like
they're saying we could do we could do it the same way you guys do it, but we're also having fun and poking fun.
Yeah, once the ego's gone, it's like the crowd goes like, oh shit, well, we don't have to be all like fuck with our chests. You don't need to be this far out anymore. You know what I mean? It's like we can have like let our fucking guard down and like have fun. And that's what I think with that style of music is like watching it, like I said, like recently, and just seeing the vibe that was like, it was so not serious. I mean, not like check out my shirt I have. I have this old school shirt on that no one knows about this shirt because it's so underground. Like, I'm gonna be so sick of the show. It's none of that. It's like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go out and have fun. You know what I mean?
Out and have fun with the Kirkland brand t-shirt on.
Yeah, exactly. Let's wear a fucking Alanis Morissette shirt and fucking go to a death metal show. It's like everyone will like be like, fuck, I hope
it gets splattered in fake blood. Spit out of fucking the singer's mouth or whatever after you got out of a body.
But I think it's really that's genius to me. That's like, to me, like especially watching the line of some of these shows, these huge crowds showing up. I'm like, it's fun. It's not like you don't have to be super into it. You don't have to like, you can just be like, oh, there's a fun band that if you're not into the style of music, maybe you'll get into it later. But like, this is kind of like a pathway into it. Or like maybe you like punk first, or like another style of music that's like an aggressive style of music. And just like, it kind of like brings you into death metal like that. And I think it's really important. Like those, like all your guys' bands are super important, I think, to death metal. It's like huge deal to me.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I think it's like almost like a 2-for-1 deal. You get like, a band playing on stage plus some entertainment, and it just keeps it like entertaining visually while you're like listening to the music. And yeah, it's fun. Like it's fun. I couldn't see myself being in an ultra serious band. Like I like to laugh, like I couldn't be serious.
And all these death metal bands too, like behind the scenes, we're all laughing. Like we're all laughing the whole time. It's like,
I mean, there's
taking band pictures. Taking band pictures in our bands are like the hardest things to do because we're like trying to be serious, and we'll smoke a joint or something, and we're like, all right, dude. And then one of us will start laughing, and it's like contagious, and it takes like 2 hours to take a picture of us with one of us not smiling.
I'm that
to
guy
catch us all serious.
I'm always laughing, dude.
Oh, me too.
The funniest serious is like trying to play like technical stuff live. It's like a cliche thing, but it's like, dude, you fucked up the 5, 7, 9, 13 thing, dude. What the fuck, man? Like, it's like
no one noticed except
nobody even like really knows what's going on. They're like, it's just the band.
We've train wrecked before. Like Odious has train wrecked before at
like, dude, it was 12, not 13, dude.
And people didn't even notice that we train wrecked. You know what I mean?
It's not anybody. Nobody talks about it except for us, dude.
Yeah. It's because we're so like nerdy about it. Like, we notice it, but like everyone else is like, oh,
it like ruined our whole night. Like no one talked to each other. I know. Like the next morning, like no one talked.
Separate.
Yeah, we're just like,
dude. Actually, cartilage practices are like the hardest practices on earth because like the drumming's already a little like, you know, intricate in its way, but everybody else in the band is doing something funny. Like our bass player just got like
Oh,
a
God.
wireless, so he's trying to be like
Yeah.
Steve Harris, just doing his shit everywhere. And then my singer just starts turning his shirt inside out and just starts doing like shit like this. And then my guitar player, like both guitar players are like running in place. Like it's just like it's nonstop, dude. It's so hard.
That's
Like
rad, dude.
practice.
For me, the worst part about me was like being in like ODS and Decrepit and stuff is that like I thought fucking up was like kind of funny. I thought mistakes were kind of funny because I knew that we could all do it, but when we fucked up, I was like, I would look over and start smiling, and then like Casey would be like, dude, don't look at me like if that ever happens, because like Casey would start to get it too. I'm like, dude, don't do that.
Well, that would happen during Odious rehearsals for sure. I don't know if Decrepit was more serious, but Odious rehearsals were always, if somebody fucked up, we all stared at the person that fucked up while we're still playing, you know, but we're smirking at each other like we know you just did that. But it's all about like getting through a song with those minimal fuck ups that are caught quick. That kind of was the reason why I'm gonna toot our horns for a second here with Odious. Even though we fucking did that one train wreck that we always talk about, the reason why that haunts us so much is because Odious could take a big break and come back and get through a set pretty fucking decent. You know, for some reason we used to talk about it where there were these big gaps between our jam sessions, but we'd come back and we'd still be in the pocket.
The funniest thing is you're like all playing, and then you're like looking at each other like, you know, like you're having this like conversation, and you're like in motion, like, and you're like looking at each other like, what the fuck? You're like playing at the same time.
I know, but that's what makes it fun. Those
It's
are
crazy,
the fun.
For the drummer, the drummer's got to be that's the hardest job to take comedy and have
and
to
you're
like
trying to like communicate, like you're like nodding and like
you're like shit, what's going on? You're like, fuck, there's a joke going on. Fuck this.
But that's the whole reason. That's the whole reason why we were excited to go back the next time when that session was over. It was all the fun that we were having.
Well, it's like a thing you've done a million times and you fuck it up. That's what cracks me up. That's what would be funny to me. Is like, I'm like, why'd you do that? But like we've done this a million times, and it's like funny when they like do like a random like harmonic in the wrong spot. I'm like, what? Like, well, and then I'll just start thinking about it, and I'll be like, back then I was like smoking so much weed that I was just like, I was just think about it way too much, and I would just start laughing and almost have to stop. Like,
yeah.
Anyways, but yeah,
so it's so hard to when you fuck up as a drummer though. Like Casey knows, it's so obvious. Like I feel like with guitar players, I could never even hear when they fuck up unless it's like
a
I know, right? Yeah.
You know, but you know, if you have the gears rolling, like everybody can hear it. You're under a magnifying glass.
You are.
You're a percussive instrument that people feel as well as listen to, and guitar players more just a thing that you're listening to on top of the thing that you.
A lot of it's too like the vibe on stage when you see people like when you see the people in the front looking back at the drummer, or you see something like that. You see something like that happen, then you know they fucked up even if you didn't hear a fuck up. Like, and so that was always like the number one thing with like what we were always working on is like if we fuck up or something, don't be like, what's going on back there? You know, like don't do that because like everyone will be able to tell.
Be chill.
They just work through it. Just try to get through it.
The audience won't even like notice it unless you make it noticeable. Like
it's like you're telling everyone with your face, like we're fucking up right now because the front guys have to look back and like be all like, oh, what's like all freaking out.
I feel like though, like back in the day, like I don't know, this back in the day, like I don't know, like back at that time, like crowds was like very attentive to like what you're doing. Like a lot of shows I go to now, it's like a lot of people are just kind of hanging out, like they're there, but they're watching and they're not. You could probably like train wreck and people wouldn't even notice, or like maybe they were on their phone or like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, the phone
like, different, dude. It's like I don't know. It's like, but it depends on like a fat. I mean, obviously, if it depends on like the focus of the show, you know, like if it's like everyone's like super engaged. But
what's your worst?
What's
your worst like train wreck moment, Adam, of all time?
Well, probably. Let's see. My first Terrorizer LA show, like it was just like it went by so fast because like I had learned that whole album in like a month. So like a lot of the riffs almost sound the same. Like for anyone that's heard World Downfall, like Terrorizer LA, we used to do all of World Downfall, and some of those riffs like
It is monumental, but I know what you're saying, dude.
Yeah, it's
I know
it's
what
such
you're
a
saying.
sick album, but like some of those riffs just sound almost like the same as a different song, and that happened on like this song Infestation, and I totally just kept blasting or something, and I wasn't supposed to blast, and then Leon, the guitar player, looked like turned around or something, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna D beat, and then it went with the riff change, and I was like, oh, this is what's supposed to happen now.
Oh, nice.
Well,
D beat, blast beat for that.
I love grind and like the traditional style of grind, but it is a smaller area to work within before things start to kind of just blur, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're in the right mood and you got the right band, grind is a great style of music. It goes with a weird mood. I don't know what the mood would really be called, but it
chaotic.
goes, if you're gonna pair music with how you feel, where you kind of just want to let loose and get like, you know, turn more into the ape mentality. That's kind of what it is. I'm gonna beat my fist on the ground and fucking beat my chest and eat my bananas.
Well, it's more organic. I mean, grind is more organic though. It's more like, you know, it's more of a
that's
flow
what I'm
and a
saying. It's
vibe.
more, it's like it goes back to more of like the instinctual aspects of what you feel.
It's a lot of feel, you know, and it's not as technical, but it's just like even like when I first heard Scum, like that Napalm Death album, when I was like whatever 12 or whatever, like I was just like, damn, like it's just like da, 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 da. It sounds like a train coming, dude, and it's not fast. It's just da, 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 da. And the way he used to blast is like he would alternate with the ride and the crash. So he would go bapu 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 bapu, and it's just chaotic. And then he goes to a DB, back to it.
It's this feeling of like when you see the gorillas in the cage and they're fighting or they're fucking just being all weird, and it's just like that's what I feel when I listen to that type of grind, like Brutal Truth or Terrorizer's World Downfall, all those old school early, even, I mean, Exit 13 is way more experimental, but they can still have aspects of their music that's just as like, we're just going to go back to the simple feel aspects of being a human. Just I need to get it off.
Yeah, it's like up and down, like it's vibing up and down. It's like the energy going like, and it can go faster one show and at that one part and slower one show. It's like how whatever everyone's feeling, whatever the vibe is, it'll change. You know, it's kind of like a breathing live organism. Yeah,
grind's so fucking sick.
But yeah, it is a smaller bubble to work within. If you're eventually, like we were how this started was, you can write a riff that's kind of similar to another riff on the album because you only have so much to work with before you start moving into more experimental aspects of grind, which was also possible.
Well, it's actually a good segue too, though. I mean, because you just mentioned it in passing, but you played with Terrorizer LA.
Yeah, I know.
We were like, we didn't put that on any flyer. I remember you hit me up later. It was like, oh, if you want to put that, you can. But like, it's been 4 years or whatever, and I was like, we'll throw that in the middle of it. But so how did that become? Like, how did you get hooked up with those guys? What was the process of you like trying out, or did you go there and do it? There's some sort of a scary band, like a Halloween band.
Wait, before let's go into why there's the Terrorizer LA and the Terrorizer, because we actually got schooled on this on the pod, but I don't remember all the details. So there's situation where there's two different Terrorizers, or at one point there was two different Terrorizers, and one had to change their name to Terrorizer.
Is it similar to I Am Morbid and Morbid Angel?
It's the same shit. Like
you nailed it with that. Yeah,
like it's the same thing. Somebody, like with all those bands, you know, somebody owns the right to the name, but then other people have rights to the songs. Therefore, they can still play it. You just have to have it under a different name. Because Oscar Garcia from Terrorizer LA, it's like, you know, it's his baby. He started that with Jesse Pintado back in the day, and you know, they even had a different drummer before Pete. And I'm a huge Pete Sandoval fan. You know, I grew up just like emulating Morbid Angel growing up. But I guess Pete ended up with the name Terrorizer, and somebody else didn't claim it. So Oscar, I guess what happened is Jesse Pintado's like death anniversary came up in like 2014 or 15, and I think Jesse's sister thought about reaching out to Oscar or somebody to like get like a tribute band to Jesse to commemorate his like 20 years or 10-year anniversary of his passing. So what happened is Oscar got a band together, which involved Leon Del Muerte, who's like been in a million bands, Exhumed, Intronaut, Phobia, like Murder Construct. The list goes on. Super cool dude, but very grind guy because he's played for a million bands.
Yeah,
totally.
So he helped put that lineup together with Mike Caffell from Exhausted Prayer, because these are all LA-based guys, and I think it was the guitar player from Sadistic Intent, and then Cosmo, Carlos Reveles, who was in the beginning of Terrorizer, like in the demo days, but wasn't on World Downfall. So like they put together this lineup and they played this sick grind show to commemorate Jesse Pintado's passing, because Jesse was, a founding member of Terrorizer. And then they liked it. The show went great, and they're like, hey, let's keep doing this. So that was 2015. And I've been friends with Leon for like, dude, going way back to the MySpace days when I was like 12, just like messaging all my favorite bands. He was like one of the few that would respond.
Yeah.
Nice,
So I used to talk to Leon a lot on AOL Instant Messenger.
AOL Instant Messenger, dude.
Yeah, AIM, AOL. So we kept in touch, dude. And then I met him like 2010 or 2012. And then we just kept in touch. I always just told him like, hey, dude, if you ever need help with Terrorizer, I fucking love the shit out of that album. And he would always be cool and show up to my shows and hang out. And then he finally just hit me up and he was like, hey, like, Mike's going through some stuff right now. The show's like in about a month. I know it's last minute, but would you like be kind of interested? And of course, like I was like 22 and I was like, I'm not going to turn this shit down, know?
Yeah.
So, but it was like scary. And, I practiced like every day leading up to the show, to the point where I had tennis elbow on both of my arms.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to fuck this up. I went to sleep listening to the album. I commuted listening to the album. I practiced that shit every day.
That's the first real hurdle you were feeling in your career as a musician,
Yeah.
And you're making sure that you're going to be the best you in that situation to get that gig.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to make a good impression and show that I could for sure do it. And yeah, the tennis elbow thing was scary because that inflamed like a week before the show. And I told Leon, I was like, yeah, I'm going to start like putting some pads here, because I was just playing way too much.
Yeah, but I can tell that you're proud of that work that you're talking about. Even you worked yourself to being sore to get ready for the first real, like I said, hurdle into the lifestyle of being a death metal drummer.
Yeah, I mean, it was for sure scary though, because I grew up like wearing Terrorizer shirts, just like obsessing over World Downfall, like copying Pete Sandoval fills because like they're like the coolest fills ever.
Right. Yeah.
And
perfecting a great's work, dude. That's killer.
Yeah, and I wanted to like, everyone I guess like has their own way when it comes to like joining like a band that's been around for a while. Like I wanted to play like as close to Pete as possible. Like I wanted to have those signature fills that he always did, and like all those stop and goes, and like I wanted to like, do it as close as I can, because like, yeah, I had a feeling that people were going to be air drumming in the crowd, and they were, and I was like, okay, this is scary. Like people are air drumming this shit I can't fuck up.
Yeah.
Totally. So if you actually go to my YouTube channel, I actually filmed my first show with them in 2017. And I'm not headbanging for the first two shows or first two songs because I'm so fucking nervous.
Damn.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, your first couple of times with the band are going to be nerve-wracking because that's game day,
Yeah.
all this work that you've been doing, falling asleep to the music, actually physically executing the songs, it all builds up to that one thing.
And you don't want legends turning around looking at you like, what are you doing, dude? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want, like, that's like a nightmare, you know, like if you're joining a band, you want to, like, you're joining like a legendary band, you want to make sure I'm like, all right, this shit's like back of my hand shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and like it was like, you know, this is when I first started learning how to alchemate with playing other people's drums at shows, because I never played a Terrorizer show with my own drum set. Like they're always just like weekend shows flying somewhere. And that was a huge learning curve because I had to just accept what was given to me that day. You know,
Jesus.
It's not easy because, you know, you're used to a certain thing for so long. I was playing my drums and for shows and shit for years, and then now I'm finally playing backline kits. Like I didn't know what that was. That was super new to me. And dude, the backline kit was from Hellshock, because this band Hellshock was right before us, and the drum heads were so dented. Like, holy fuck, dude.
Jesus.
Oh no.
The sound guy moon gelled the shit out of it, dude, to make it sound half good. And I was
like pits in it, like in the heads, like pit, like stick pit, like hit.
Yeah, it's just like so, like the heads haven't been changed in like 3 years. Like it's just like a normal head and then their head.
Okay. Yeah.
Get your stick like caught and like and like lose a stick.
Like, yeah, like caught in this pit.
Jesus, finally puts it through, because if that dude's just not changing his head, you are actually going to beat the fuck out of that, and you actually might poke through.
Yeah, yeah. So that was like my first like experience dealing with only playing other people's equipment and just accepting it and just being like, we'll see what happens, you know? So,
yep. What a trip. So you did that from, so were you in Cartilage when you, was this before Cartilage, right?
Yeah. So what happened is this was 2017. So I was in Cartilage and Ion, and then Terrorizer started June. For me, Terrorizer started June 2017. Yeah.
Dude, okay. Pete's blasts are my favorite blast out of all the blasts that have gone through history. I think that split time Pete Sandoval blast is,
that beat, yeah.
I think that's my favorite version of the blast.
Yeah.
Right? You got the Mike Smith, that's everything together.
Yep, unison, yeah.
But that split time, it just feels so much.
It's hectic.
Yeah, but Pete was also just
like how I like it.
I know, dude, exactly, and that's what he's famous for. But he was also just so good at he still is, dude. Still good at the killer double bass,
dude,
all around playing everything, dude. Like
he was so scary in the formula era. Like he was going so fast, dude.
So fast.
When you see Pete play live, you're just like, oh fuck, okay. Like that's what.
Yeah, like that. Like I'm sure. Standard for every death metal drummer to go faster. It's just like seeing Pete Sandoval.
Dude.
Blitz, you know,
and so much power, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to I Am Morbid. So he just made a post about it. Whatever. He's doing the I Am Morbid touring right now, you know. And
oh wow,
we had Kelly on about a month ago and stuff. Kelly McLaughlin, and he's not touring with them currently, but he was making some shout outs. But yeah, man, it's cool, man.
Yeah, seeing that flyer, I was wondering who was going to be playing, if it was going to be Tim Young.
No, it's Pete Sandoval. Yeah, and Dave Vincent.
That's cool, dude.
I Am Morbid thing. Yeah, and then
makes me more so want to go now.
Speaking of old guys still doing stuff, Jesus Christ, you have to do the drums in a death metal band? Like it's like
I know, right?
About, like, that's insane. How old is fucking
all those guys like Paul Mazurkiewicz. Like so cool to see him play. Like I saw them. I think I saw you there, Joel, when they played in Oakland or Berkeley earlier this year.
Oh, Berkeley, yeah.
We would so hard.
Is that with the same show that I went to?
Yeah. It was like Whitechapel.
So that's where we met in person, dude.
Yeah. So I met you there.
When I saw you, I was like, I know I've seen this guy in person.
No, we met before that at the show at the bottom of the hill. Was it bottom of the hill or
Parkside that night? Okay, it was the actual night that you played with Cartilage. Then,
But it's cool seeing like dudes like still like drums is an instrument that like if I just looked up Pete Sandoval's age. Just you guys want to take a guess real quick?
56, 55.
60,
I was actually on the 56 vibe.
58.
58. Oh, almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, and he's
1960.
about
He's
to
born
come back out with
1964, so
Morbid.
he's 20
This is-
years older than us.
Oh, wow.
Anthony.
So I Am Morbid. What do they play everything up until Gateways? Is that what it is?
Or something.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
wonder
because
what their set
Morbid's
is.
doing. They have what's
I
his
Am
name?
Morbid.
I know, but Morbid's has the gateways and on, right? Is that what Morbid Angel's doing?
Well, I think they kind of did that. I think the way it really goes is whatever songs Vincent wrote, he plays. Whatever songs
Right, Vincent.
Trey wrote,
stuff.
Trey.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that makes
exactly.
sense.
I think it's gone to that because
Yeah,
Vincent wasn't in Formulas Onward. That's why they emphasize on that. Plus, it's cool to hear those songs because they were playing classics for years. I love Gateways and
The Gateways is what got me into kind of got me into death metal. Like when that came out, I was like the opening of the Gates double bass. I was like,
yeah.
oh, dude,
like,
that song
what the
totally
f-
helped my
Oh,
double
yeah,
bass
for
game.
sure. Yeah.
I like
yeah,
it.
I was like,
Morbid was
what?
much more evil sounding than Cannibal too, because I kind of came across
Yeah.
Cannibals, Gateways, and Gallery of Suicide at the same time. Was like the first two Cannibal and Morbid things that I was exposed to.
Mhm.
And
Opening the
I-
gates
I-
though, I was like that double bass part though. I would show that to people that weren't into
Yeah.
death metal. Like I remember I would show it to my buddies that were like into hip hop only. I'd be like, they have like huge subwoofers in their car. I'm like, we got to listen to the fucking opening the gates in your car.
Yeah,
We go in there, and they're just like fucking. They'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I mean, there was not. There was probably. I mean, it's so perfect. I don't know if that's could really be done in real life. I don't know. You guys are drummers, but I remember like hearing it, and I didn't know that there was like any kind of editing back ever existed. When I was listening to it at the time, but hearing that double bass, I was like, "What?" So it's almost like a note. It's like so.
yeah,
so
it
fast.
is. Yeah, it's super fast.
But
Yeah.
then you listen to everything before that, and you're like, this dude can execute very clean sounding, like natural drums, dude. Where they're
That wasn't
at
natural.
times
I mean,
we're editing.
that was definitely triggers, right?
Oh, for sure.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
The whole
Yeah.
drum kit was triggers, right?
Gateways and Heretic are noticeably triggered, and then what's cute about Blessed Are the Sick is that it's the beginning of triggered shit. So you get to hear how gated the toms are. It's like, it's just like, oh,
There's just no reverb.
but yeah, no reverb, and then like you hear that, I feel like that's pretty cool. Like all those death metal drummers in the '90s really like experimented with triggers, and like you can hear it like in like Mayhem albums, like Grand Declaration. I think it's called Grand Declaration. It's super triggered, dude. It's just like again, everything's gated and perfect hit.
There was an old school band. I mean, not old school band, but a band that triggered probably one of the first. I don't know if they were the first trigger drum band. Was a Fear Factory, like demanufacture and stuff. That was like all
Sold the New
replaced to
Machine.
drums.
Yeah,
Sold the machine.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder like what's up with that, dude. Like the whole like it's like old Metallica, like it's like none of that was ever triggered. They never used any like with Pantera and stuff. Like
Mhm.
it's like did they never use any sample like along like live or anything?
Well,
like, I'm curious
wasn't-
about that.
wasn't
Interesting, yeah.
yeah.
Not that it matters either way. I'm just curious about
But yeah, it's like when people like I
Yeah.
think Fear Factory was a band that was like kind of going with industrial kind of. They're like, okay, so this
Yeah.
works with our
Totally.
sound more. You know what I mean? Whereas like
right.
you want the kind of natural sound from Metallica and Pantera and stuff like that. But like they
Sure.
were like kind of had
Yeah,
this
yeah.
like kind of like brrrn, dun, 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 had this like spur like these like robot noises coming in the background. Like it made sense to do
Yeah.
like a triggered style of
But I mean,
drum.
but think of like the first person that thought of, even before death metal, like okay, so early '80s, and you're like, oh, you're thinking in your mind like, oh, we want to like trigger this sound or whatever that came, but like you're kind of thinking obviously like of early Metallica or like that sound, even if they didn't trigger it to get that sound, but you gotta be
You want
thinking
that
of
sound.
or even like with Slayer, like Rain and Blood, like it wasn't triggered, right? But like it was recorded in a way that kind of compressed it to where it kind of sounded almost like what triggers became later, like
Mhm.
it's like, you know what I mean? Like
what
it's
they're
like,
trying to cut, like what the sound they wanted.
yeah.
I mean, I
Uh,
think like Injustice for All just coming to mind right now. Like,
speed metal.
yeah, it's like maybe sampled or something, but like I
Justice
don't
for All is the perfect example, though. You're right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking
But
about.
there's a
It sounds almost-
little bit of dynamics because you can hear when he's
Yeah.
like when he goes goom, doom, dun, dun,
yeah. Yeah. It sounds like triggered, right?
Yeah. But like Pantera, didn't he use
And
those
that too,
Danmar
exactly.
pads?
Right. Yeah, he used like the metal like pads on the kicks, like the
Which I used when I
Danmark.
was younger before triggers. Those were fun, but they would break your
Yeah,
head.
I know. Me too, dude. Back in the 90s. Yeah, dude. No, for sure.
So
But
do
it
you
was
think that triggers were invented because of the evolution of metal in general and getting heavier and wanting to be as punchy as it possibly can, and the natural kick drum sound couldn't get there, so we decided to trigger it so we can control how hard it hits?
I think I mean, you're making me really think about this question, but I think they created acoustic drum triggers so that they can replicate studio quality sound in a live
Yeah.
audience, because people know how there's so many dynamics within a kick drum in a live room, especially like, you know, like in an like a arena or something. Like you're gonna hear the
Yeah.
kick drum, like really give. So I feel like that was like the perfect way for people to get consistency, whether it's slow or
Right.
It's almost like it's like kind of like, oh, you want the injustice for all like kit triggers on your like set, like, you know, it's kind of like it's almost like that. It's like that kind of
Yeah,
first,
that's
like
also
you just
another.
add that like sound to your set, you know, but
You
it's just like
find your favorite kick drum, and now
I
you can
think
have it.
I think the whole main thing is that like producers were able to create that sound in the studio
Mm,
back in like the 80s, especially kind of starting in the 80s. And then like, you know, because Iron Maiden and bands like that, even Judas Priest, but like Judas Priest, obviously with Painkiller and like, you know, certain, and of course, you know, Screaming for Vengeance and like the metal stuff, it started to kind of shift in that direction. Of course, they're
right.
legends and they created that, but Iron Maiden always kept it like open, like rock, like, you know, we
Yep.
don't, you know, but it was like all about like, you know, like it was, you know, it's kind of, it's not so much about how the bands wrote the music, which is obviously amazing that's all in that same time in that era, but it
Mhm.
was also about the sound they were trying to portray. Like, okay, we're going to create this
Exactly.
album, like what's the soundscape going to be, you know?
Yeah.
So, like Metallica like came in like, oh yeah, but we're going to do this like soundscape. It's gonna, you know, like that jin, like where did that even, that
Mhm.
wasn't really, you know,
Yeah.
there's other bands who are like or like, you know, like rock and roll, you know, that kind of stuff. But it was like the whole like like the whole like chugging stuff, like, and
Mhm.
like,
Dude.
and then creating that sound, and then like it's like even like the Beatles, like kind of being like, no, we want this like specific thing that like, so like recording that's kind of like Metallica really. I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to think like who else really did that time.
Well,
Of
I
Mhm.
feel
course,
like Rush, you know, would incorporate those E
yeah.
drums live, especially like when
Oh yeah.
Power Windows and Signals came out. I think I'm a huge Rush fan, but like,
Oh
Totally.
dude, Rush is amazing. Yeah.
yeah, like he had no shame in bringing like, you know, his electronic kits in, and I'm sure back in the day, you know, drummers got hate for that.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah, but Rush has always been that band that has gotten their stuff on the radio, so they could still be Rush, but trying to move with the times, because that was into the 80s when all
But I
the
mean,
electronic sounds were
but
being you
okay.
know. All right, school me, dude.
But I'm saying like even like okay, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. We're gonna go with 70s, like, you know, like the chunkiest thing in the set. What was the chunkiest riff of the 70s? Probably Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, like that
yeah, dude,
song, like dun, 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 dun,
the
dun, dun,
first slam
dun.
riff.
Dude, I mean that's the riff, right? And so like, and that sounds sick, but it sounds like it's got a fucking tambourine in the it's a 70s
Mhm,
recording style of trying to be heavy, which fucking succeeded, and it's
mhm.
insane, right? But like, and then in the 80s there was the different, you know, the rock of the different, or even the Aussie stuff, like Randy Rhoads, like all that shit super heavy in a certain way, but there was something about the Metallica sound with
Mhm,
the recording. I mean, of course, like with you know, the first one, Kill 'Em All and stuff, was
yeah.
kind of more that, you know, rock, kind of like that, you know,
Mhm,
Motorhead, like, you know, coming
mhm.
from that background of Iron Maiden, Motorhead, Judas Priest, blah, blah, blah. But like when they did like Ride the Lightning, right? Like whatever,
Mhm.
like it was all of a sudden like they weren't just writing, it was also like a sound, like like a tight.
Mhm,
So that's all I'm getting at. I'm just saying, you know, and there's other bands too, of course, like, you know,
mhm.
underneath, and of course Metallica. People can say, oh, they ripped off all these bands, but they probably did, you know. But I'm just saying, who? I'm just curious. I'm just bringing it up. Like, where did that come? I guess it's like you got the money. If you're the
Yeah,
band that can break through, then you can make that recording and you can create
yeah.
a sound because you have access to those like engineers, you know. Like it's like Nirvana. It's like there's a bunch of bands that were like, great, like Mudhoney or like the Melvins and all kinds of bands that were like in that era, like just as good or whatever, or Fugazi and all these bands, but they weren't like, they didn't create those hits that like got the huge production, but the production and the point of metal, but last point is that creates the sound and then Pantera, like those albums were not cheap to make.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
that sound and
yeah. No, you even have me thinking because I love like jazz fusion. I got into that like 7 years ago. That's like so cool shit. Like Billy Cobham, Dave Weckl, like Dennis Chambers.
Oh, I love
and I'm just thinking, you have me thinking about like Spectrum, that Cobham album.
Oh yeah, I love that shit. Yeah.
Like the drums are so crisp and clean, and it's just like, hey, maybe like just the way they built drums back then was just like better, shallower kicks, and acrylic was huge back then,
Thinner shells, dude. That's a whole nother conversation, dude. I mean, we can get into that too. Drum shell changes in the 80s, like thicker shells.
Yeah, power toms, and then now they're shorter. Yeah. Like Tamer comes out with the shorter toms. I loved like the bigger toms personally.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't play drums.
How deep you want to get, how nerdy. But yeah.
I can
what Joel, my point was that a lot of the heavy sound from a lot of bands that came in that thrash era, like, was a lot due to the engineers, of course, that recorded that stuff too.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because able to get that sound, like
No, I was getting that from like we were talking about Metallica and stuff. Like they spent like $500,000 on a recording.
Exactly.
And, like you go to a recording where you spend like $7,000. Like, how do we get like something? We don't want like a shitty, like $7,000 is like, it's a variable scale. That could be a $500,000 to like a underground band. You know what I mean? That's like, that's their, like, you want it to sound as good as it can, like in the short amount of time. And you want to profess like your love. We both clicked at the same time.
Cancel him.
Someone say profess.
Professor, love to the professor.
I'm all great.
I was wondering when you were coming, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it in the middle of the episode, like, where the fuck is Professor? But I was feeling that a few times. I'm like,
this episode just got a lot smarter real fast.
He walked in right into the drum talk. The drummer walks in during the drum talk.
Yes, dude.
Don't lose your singles. No, I'm just kidding.
He's like, he's all actually.
Yeah.
It's now officially a true Cali Death podcast episode right now, guys.
Yeah. Stoked.
Yeah. How's it going, Adam?
I think we got
good. How are you, man? Staying busy over there? You're on tour like every other week.
No, dude. I mean, I did a couple weekends last month. Yeah, it's been good, man. Played with this band Illudium. I did their first record with Prophecy as a bass player, and then I just became the drummer. And then my old homie Alex joined as our bassist. So it's like a high school band again for me. Like I jammed with everybody back in the day in high school. So it's like super sick.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Stoked for you, man.
How was the Cartilage tour, dude?
Rad.
Dude, the tour was fucking incredible, man. Like we played so many places we haven't played before, because we've done we're weird. We've done like West Coast tours before that are like a week, and then we've done Europe once. So this is the first time we got to go through like Texas and like New Mexico, Arizona, and it was really good, man. A lot of people, it surprised me how many people were like ready to see us there. It was really fucking sick.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you're like the perfect band to be supporting Exhumed, I thought.
Oh, definitely.
Gruesome,
totally.
Gruesome.
Oh yeah, that's actually, it's funny because he posted it on the thing and then he hit me up like it's gruesome, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go through a thing. We're gonna keep it.
I've had Exhumed is going on tour in like a month, right? And I got that mixed up. That's
it's all good. You're all good, dude. Don't worry about it. It's Matt Harvey.
Matt Harvey, exactly.
Yeah. We went on tour with Matt Harvey.
Yeah.
And Fred,
shout out.
Gruesome's like, it's in that vein of that first era of death, right?
Yeah, super sick. Gus Rios, super sick to see him play live every night. He's a very consistent drummer, super good at what he does, man. And then we also toured with a band called Immortal Bird, from Chicago, which are super fucking dope. Like, I don't even know what to like describe them, just like prog black metal or something. And the drummer does a lot of single foot blasts, and he's just a fucking monster, and just he just nails into it. So check out Immortal Bird. Actually, also Sick Drummer filmed Immortal Bird's drummer as well. Sick Drummer magazine. I was super happy. They showed up on the Arizona date and filmed us. So yeah, check that out. They filmed the show.
Sweet, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think at one point
like
he
actually
put a link to it or something. I was just saying, I think at one point back in the chat he put a link to, was it you? He recorded you?
Yeah, they were the dude recorded I think his name is Mike Wyatt. He filmed like 2 Cartilage songs and then like an Immortal Bird song and then gruesome stuff. So yeah, he filmed everybody. It was cool.
That's what's up, dude.
Nice.
Shout out to Sick Drummer magazine for keeping all that there is like the drummer nerd of death metal, and that is #1 top-notch content for that person, you know what
and
I'm
I wish
saying?
there was, I actually do wish there was a Sick Guitar Player magazine.
I do. Yeah. You know, there was for a short second. I think it was called Six Strings, but they didn't follow up with it. I mean, maybe he'll chime in the comments, but I do remember they did one on Paul Ryan. They did like a 6 Strings episode, and then there wasn't much. But
that's exactly what I was about to like do the old changeover to. Was your new band? Please pronounce it for me.
Oh, Maentra.
Mm-hmm. I know the symbol throws me off because
the
AE symbol. I'm like, oh, shit, how do I even say that?
And the A E silent.
Yeah.
It's a character.
I listened to it actually. I know Paul sent me like some before it got released stuff, and I heard it on my phone. I'm like, sounds cool, man. Fuck yeah! Like I listened to it like real quick, and then before the pod, I had about 30 minutes just to like listen to the Cartilage, and I threw it on. I was like, whoa! Like the fucking, it's like math. I don't know. It's like technical, proggy, kind of like grindy. Like it has like so many elements in it, and I was like, it's one of those fun things that happens with this podcast. Happened with Ophidia and I, where it was like right before the podcast, I'm like, let me just throw them on real quick and just check them out so I have something to talk about. And like I threw your like Maentra on, I was like, whoa, like this is like a band I'm gonna fucking be listening to. I wasn't
surprised.
Like, I was
and
it was something that Paul Ryan had been involved in, and I probably should have checked it out earlier, but no, just checking out a couple of songs today, I'm like, what am I doing?
My stereo, I heard it and I was like, whoa,
it's really good for sure.
Yeah,
it's
it's got that kind of like classic dirtier sound, but it's got the prog elements to it, and it's got so many elements I heard in like one song, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like got a little bit of like the kind of grindy like dirtiness to it, but it's like weird timings in it, and it's like it's got like all the things I want to hear, like, you know, as like an old school metalhead and as a newfound prog head in the last like 5-6 years, you know what I mean?
Right on.
And I was like, I was actually honestly like, I was like, whoa, like that's like the main thing I've been waiting to talk about all night.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, you know, we're trying to go for like it's funny because we were talking about Fear Factory a minute ago. Like I got into Fear Factory because of those guys, because I never used to listen to them. But then I started hearing them and hearing the footwork that the drummer does. And it was always just like incredible. Like, okay, this is so accurate. And then I watched live videos from the 90s. I was like, okay, he's really doing it. It's not just cleaned up. Like he's super what he does. So I just started like doing that kind of shit. And then obviously Paul, like I've jammed with Paul for like 4 years, I guess now. And sometimes we would.
How'd you guys meet?
What's up?
How did you guys meet?
It's Paul Ryan from Origin, by the way.
It's like everybody else, man. A Guitar Center.
There you go. Dude, that is so funny.
Yeah, dude. So many good times at Guitar Center.
Dude, he.
Did you already know about Origin before you walked in to that?
Oh yeah, I first like talk to him because every time I'd come in, I'd come in with like a Napalm Death shirt or like an Immolation shirt, Cannibal Corpse or whatever, and he would always comment on my shirts, and then he would just like do his thing where he walks away and just like talks and walks. So I would see him, and then one day he handed me a flyer to that Origin Hate Eternal Vital Remains show. I think that was Slim's 2011, And then we started talking a little more. And then when Ion started playing shows, I started giving him flyers, and then we just started like keeping in touch. So he was always, I mean, everyone knows Paul. He's the nicest guy ever. So we would always just talk. And then he knew about Rudy and he knew about me because he would go to like all my shows because like he lived in like a part of SF where like shows were accessible. Right. So he would be such a nice guy going to my shows all the time. And then he knew about Rudy, the guitar player of Maentra, because Rudy's also a shredder from Cyanic and Genocide Skin. So he like, it seemed like he had his eye on Rudy and me, like on the distance, you know, but he would just wait for us because Rudy and I started Maentra, and Rudy and I were always just like, dude, we have to get Paul. Like, I don't know what it is. We have to get Paul. And Paul's like a one-man band kind of guy, you know?
Yeah.
Those guys know what they want in life. And like Origins is Baby, I was like, I don't want to like take you away from anything.
How'd you get him to play bass though? Like, I mean, obviously, like he's known as the guitar player of Origin. Like, you get him to play bass in this band.
Wow.
Yeah. Paul, dude. Paul's bass, dude, he literally found it in a dumpster, and it's like this massive Gibson Explorer bass. It's huge. Like, it's huge. And he found it in a dumpster, and obviously he fixed it up nice at Guitar Center, spray painted the pick guard, and made it sound good. But he said he didn't want to play guitar in another band, even though we would jam, and like I'd be like, come on, dude, like let's do a band together, dude. And you know, he would just be like, no, like he does this, he's like, no, like I'm not gonna play guitar in another band.
Oh, man.
So I'm just like, okay, fine. And then he's like, well, I'm down to do bass. And we were just like, oh shit, Paul Ryan wants to jam with us.
Dude, that is
sick.
So that's like, we showed him some like jam songs that we did, and he was just like, you know, oh, I'm digging this, you know, because it's industrial, like brutal technical death metal, you know. So it's like, it's different, and he was down to try something different. And he's super into like industrial music, so it made sense.
That's rad. I mean, I saw the video of him playing bass. He does vocals too, right?
He does his screams and bass.
His Jaguar screams. His
like fucking pterodactyl, like
pterodactyl.
He's still looking great, dude. He's killing it. So he's super driven, and he's been awesome to be in a band with. He's very hardworking. Awesome. We jam quite often.
That's great.
Yeah.
How do you guys get the industrial sounds? Is it like guitar effects?
So, so basically we played our first show in September, and what happens is like when we recorded the album, we recorded all the industrial parts like separate. And what I did for the show is I have a click track, and I have a splitter, and one split goes to my ears, which is click and guitar. The other split goes samples straight to the crowd. Like, I guess a lot of bands do that. Like, I know like Behemoth even does that, actually. Send a splitter. So that's how it is. Just 30-minute click track.
Yep.
But so the sampled industrial sounds, how are those created? Are those like just on a computer, like some like electronic instruments and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember which program. I think my guitar player Rudy, he has like Pro Tools, and he just creates all these like weird sounds. Gotcha. There's like a plethora of like library of random sounds, like breaking glass or just like something being sucked out, and just like or even if you do like someone screaming, then if you slow it down, it sounds super creepy, like
totally
super interesting shit.
Run it through like a filter or something like that, and like create something completely out of like it's like a Bjork move, like she does like crushing snow will be all of a sudden a beat somehow, like you can take those programs, you can just run it through all these filters and just create a completely brand new life out of a normal sound.
Rudy creates all those sounds, and then we just jam it, and so that's how I did it.
See, what was cool for me is I couldn't tell if it was
taking some of the crazy noises at the shop and sampling them and putting them into music, dude.
Like Joseph was like in mid sentence.
I didn't hear him.
Oh, you don't
I was wondering, is it working? Or
he looked to like see if he was like muted. He's all looking.
Sorry. Dude.
No, I must be kind of quiet. I'm using these.
I'll turn you up.
mics.
I got you.
Sweet, thanks. I was just saying, like, I couldn't tell if it was like sampled instruments or like just something on the guitar, which is cool that it's like kind of subtle like that, and it doesn't like hit you over the head like this is industrial metal. It's more like tech metal with some like what the fuck is going on, something new, that kind of style. So
right on. Yeah, I know there's a couple parts on guitar that he does do. Like he has this pedal that like does like a weird like it sounds like it's twirling the notes that he plays. So like that's pretty cool. There's a couple moments, but majority of them are from the click track that we do live. So yeah,
nice.
Why'd you dig it?
Yeah, I'm a big fan too, man. When that shit dropped, I was actually in Asia when I listened to Maentra, which was cool. Last time I visited, yeah.
Sweet.
No, I was literally. I'm not like I don't do this often where I'm like, geez, like I felt like I wasn't in the know, even though Paul sent me tracks before it was released, and I was like, yeah, cool. I was like at work, I was like, cool.
Yeah,
sounds
on
good.
Your phone
or whatever,
is never a good thing to do.
Yeah, and I randomly threw it on before, and I was like, what is going on? Like this is like everyone should check it out. I'm just saying, it's very cool. It's very new. It's very old. It's very everything. It's got everything going on for it. Where I was like, I loved about like it's got like all these different influences. I was like trying to pull the influences. I'm like, there's like 9 in here. Like there's like a lot of things going on. I was
I was super stoked on it too because I always wanted to be in like a more technical band because I love, like I mentioned earlier, like I love grind and stuff. But like even towards the tail end of when I was in Ion, like we put out our last album I think in 2018, and I was like, you can hear like I wanted to get more and more technical, and like that's why I parted ways is because like just we wanted to go different directions, but like I wanted to just keep pushing the technical shit, with this atmospheric. Fucking riffs, and I love like Deeds of Flesh and all that technical shit.
I was just about to say it goes back to your unique leader roots, dude.
Oh, dude, love them. Like all that shit. Just like I want to play like brutal music and like stamina shit. Like there's parts where it's just like a minute straight of just like 30-second notes. Like let's go.
That's the hardest thing to like to dial in. Like seeing like you guys like with Cartilage and like seeing you drum tech for Ghoul. And seeing all like the fun stuff going on, like you guys are having fun. It's not like hard to play, but like the crowd is reciprocating to it immediately. They're like understanding it immediately. But as a musician, you're like, yeah, but there's like way sicker, like funner, more fun things to play. And it goes. The thing that sucks about it, I remember I was who was I texting? It was someone in a big tech band. I was like, each note that you play extra is like one fan lost. It's one less listener because like it just goes over. Like, if people aren't playing music, I remember like being on tour with Decrepit or Odious, like they were all in bands. Like the people that were like way into it, they were like musicians. They wanted to.
It's musicians. Like
it's like this band's watching
music for musicians.
Yeah, but it's like finding that balance of like, which I think fucking Maentra has, by the way. That balance of like technicality, but like it's still not to the point where people are like, okay, I don't know what's going. People that don't play music are like, this is over my head kind of thing. Like it had like a groove to it, and it was a little mathy with the time signatures and stuff like that, which I felt was great. Oh, like loved, like nowadays Meshuggah is huge, so you can do that now.
Yeah, and that also had a big thing to do with the production too, because we didn't want a super huge production. We wanted to keep it as raw as possible, with also still like presenting it in a sort of professional way. We didn't want something super overproduced because we wanted to just like give it that character,
Totally.
Like I didn't want my drums to sound like every other, technical album. I wanted it to sound like a dude in a room playing whatever. So
yeah, I mean that's like with the new albums coming out nowadays, it's like so gnarly, technical, perfect,
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like a good reaction to that.
No, that's what I love about listening to Cartilage is I don't get that vibe. I get that real sounding you're in the room watching the band play
it's a
type
live
vibe.
band playing. Live band. It's like that live experience, not like musicians listening to musicians going like, what the fuck are they doing? What the and like everyone else is just like, woo. It's just like
and if you think about it, a band that wants to be theatric and have an actual show, you would actually want your album to get that live vibe just to show you that we're a good live band, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, capturing that feel with the, but still the mixes are great. Your drums, if you listen to Cartilage loud, your drums are very, they hurt, dude, if you go too long with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
Like it's got that percussive punch that you can withstand for only so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like with Cartilage, like for those past 2 releases, we did like an EP called Gourmet, and then the newest album is The Deader the Better. Like there was definitely some parts when we recorded that there was like slight flaws, but I was like, leave it, just like I want more character. I don't want it to be perfect. Like just
Right.
Whatever. Like if it was meant to be, it was meant to be. I don't like to clean up shit.
And most people won't even notice those flaws you're talking about. We're the perfectionists, the ones that are making the shit. So
yeah,
and really, it shows the human aspects of the band and you as a player too. And those are actually details that I like to still find in bands, where it shows character, it shows you're human, you're not perfect, that going back to those old grind bands too. I love the little tiny flubs because it just shows you they're just fucking going for it, dude.
Well, I think the bar's so high with the production nowadays. It's like it's becoming what kids are used to hearing now. Like
yeah, it's the next generation.
Exactly,
the next
dude.
generation like has this different palette. It's a different palette for how they're gonna taste their music.
Totally.
We have an older palette, but it just goes with the generation you grew up in. And
but I think part of it is
weird.
Part of it, like going backwards and reverse engineering and getting out of that palette, is like going to see like a live Cartilage show or a live, like a Exhumed or Ghoul or something like that, where it's just like it's just raw and like fucking giving the crowd what they want. The crowd's going nuts, and you're like, all right, well maybe we don't need like every note to be like 100% like dialed in. Like maybe like the raw vibe of a band is important too, and that's like one thing that you guys bring in a lot of the bands like from this area, that like Exhumed style like music. It's bringing like this raw like feeling from it, not like, okay, how many notes are they playing, what's going on? Are they,
you know what? That's a really good point, Joel. And I'd like to add to that. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
And hey guys, how's it going? I'd like to really add something. I really like the concept of entertainment, and I think that you guys, it sounds like you put on a really good show. I can just imagine you with Exhumed and that whole,
or even seeing Ontogeny and then Cartilage. You're like, dude, I got
fuck yeah, dude.
You got Nate and those guys doing their thing, which is
incredible,
one vibe,
dude.
Which is with
I love Nate.
Keith is one of those super underrated drummers that I think everybody should be talking about, dude. Keith Grimshaw, dude.
Inhuman, dude. The shit he does is inhuman, and it's on a little tiny cocktail jazz kit. Like
and even before, the opening band before Ontogeny was his other band, which I forget. What were they called? Bongfather, dude. How fucking rad was that, dude? Bongfather fucking ripped, and remember all the chicks that were front row for the band too. You're like, dude, what kind of metal show? And these guys got chicks front row dancing for him. Like these guys got something going on. But Keith is that's the versatility of Keith. He can play in all these different styles of music and fall right into it, dude, because he's a madman on the kit, dude.
Yeah, he's incredible.
What's so funny, dude?
Oh, Nate's cool, but he likes Meshuggah.
Oh, they're having a Meshuggah
getting the Murray.
Isn't that funny how the Meshuggah arguments happen so
not
often
again
in the chat?
There's like go ahead. Sorry.
I'll just say hi, Murray. Miss you, dude. Hope you're doing well, man. I know I saw you on the chat. Miss seeing you around, man.
Yeah, dude. Murdog's the shit, dude.
Murray's
I
dude.
I haven't wore a Mersey. When's the last time you wore a Mersey? We need to start wearing the Mersey.
I
wore mine last week. Last episode.
I went to a baseball game, which I'm not into baseball, but I was like, it's a baseball jersey, so I'll wear it.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my Merseys, dude. They're great.
Oh, fuck dude. Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
They're awesome.
But I had something
Yeah.
funny. Murray's like literally created in Twitch like this emoji, this whole thing of like Meshuggah crossed out, like because he like anytime Meshuggah gets brought up, he'll just go on a fucking tirade in the chat. He'll be like, they're like, no, fuck that, blah, blah, you know, like and like they'll make like fucking emoji things for like Murray that are just like crossing out Meshuggah everywhere. It's because he's like made such a stink about it. Whatever, I think you're wrong, but I get it. I mean, it's like not. It's to me like they were like
I'm
a
in the
palette.
middle, dude. I'm like
No, they're no. To me, they're like a Black Sabbath. They're a Black Sabbath for no. They're a Black Sabbath for like weird timings. They're like, all right, this is a band that's doing something weird, and now other bands should take that and do something cooler with it. Is what I when I first heard Meshuggah, I was like, all right, I see what you guys are doing, but you guys are going like I like
to
like how about riff over it or something.
I like to respect bands as being important. Like it doesn't necessarily mean I have to like listen to them or something, you know. But I can be like they're important to like a genre, you know, or they like did something musically like crazy, or I can't play that or whatever. It's not like I don't want to play it. It's not like
we got somebody else besides Murray who says they're boring too.
Yeah, dude, Thomas Hawk, dude, he is
Thomas Hawk is insane.
Such a sick drummer, dude. I mean, come on, dude. And also
he's doing he's doing a lot of shit that a lot of extreme drummers aren't doing.
Yeah. I mean,
no, watching him like watch his drum cams, I'm like, what? He's doing like 3 or 4 rhythms or
he's insane.
Once I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where's is it 4 or is it like 17?
Yeah.
It's hard. It is hard to find the downbeat sometimes, but I'm just like, damn, he's such a good drummer.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's an alien. He's an alien.
Shit, you know. So.
Oh yeah, dude.
He reminds me of like a Jarzenbeck that's a drummer.
Yeah.
That's
a good way to put it.
And so unique in a way that's like almost like hard to replicate. Like, how could you like if you had to fill in, you like fuck, like I could never.
There's no filling in.
How the fuck could like any drummer? How could you just fill in for Meshuggah like that? You know, it's crazy. It sounds insane. It sounds scary, impossible. It sounds what it's like to me. You know.
Yeah.
What
But
do you think?
I think it's okay to like not like a band.
Meshuggah?
They're insane.
Yeah. Joseph,
I think Meshuggah are great, and if you don't like them, you're missing out. And I think you just haven't tried hard enough, dude. You gotta try
like
I.
Calling you out,
song I, dude.
Oh yeah,
just one song. Just try one. It's only 23 minutes long, dude. Just
I love that. You call it. I guess you call it an EP.
Yeah, it's an EP. The homie in the chat, Ian, is asking to share the sick drummer video of Adam playing with Cartilage. Should we do that?
If we can make it happen, I'm down.
Yeah, I have not had good luck sharing YouTube.
Where's it?
It's up in the chat, like
30 seconds. This one?
9. There it is.
Damn, you found that shit hella fast.
Dude.
He's the professor, dude. Oh wait, no, Joel, were you the one who retrieved it? He's the banana, dude.
Just type that in real fast.
I can't copy and paste it.
YouTube time 30697.
I already have another video I had locked and loaded as a secret, but I was gonna do the flesh god puking on stage thing.
Yeah, dude. At one point,
at the very end, we'll do it. At the very end, we'll do it.
Secret.
It's in the chat.
Well, I know, but I was gonna do it. Now we're gonna share screens already. I don't. Oh, you can click on Twitch. You can click things. This is
crazy. Oh, really? You
click things, dude.
I guess you can.
Okay, I got it. Boom. All right. So now let me just click. I've only had like 900 drinks. It's fine.
You guys really want to sit through my drumming?
Surgeon.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're getting Ian's insisting, so we have to do it.
Ian's the man.
That's what's up, dude. He's hanging with us every night, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Right.
Oh,
here we go. There we go. Don't fuck up.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Wait. Start over. Let's start it over when nobody talks. Let's start it over where nobody talks.
Yeah, buddy.
Damn,
God.
girl.
So
Damn,
first question I have to
getting it.
ask is, how does it feel to be the
Getting it.
guy that like steals the attention from the rest of the band?
Oh yeah, right. Are you kidding me? I'm in the back. Nobody talks to me.
Dude,
And
no,
my
when I
question
remember,
is, I was gonna say it must feel good to beat the fuck out of your drums because you hit hard, dude. You could just tell by the way it sounds, you're hitting that motherfucker hard.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Right on, man. Yeah, I mean,
And that's something
True.
about just knowing that dude is hitting the drums hard
mhm.
and executing like a Mike Smith type dude or a Pete Sandoval. Like these guys are dudes that hit fucking hard. What are you gonna say, Professor?
I was gonna say it reminds me of Nils Dominator, Dark's Funeral. That's
another hard hitting motherfucker, dude.
Especially on the toms. Do you have your strike tom like beater like tuned higher to get like more attack, or do you just leave it more warm? Like, you know, usually they have the looser one.
Tom tuning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. For some reason, I heard beater and then strike. I was like, "What part?"
Yeah, no, I was struggling to get the words together, but
okay.
yeah.
For tuning, like I always like it, like basically when it starts to wrinkle, so as low as possible. And like tuning is such a like specific thing to me because it's like I don't like it too high because then you don't get as much slap. Like I like to get slap and really dig into each hit, you know. And then you get more attack and then it's more articulation. But that also goes with the type of drum heads you use. So I use like thicker drum heads, you know, like I like 2-ply on my toms to get extra cut.
Okay, so that's the opposite of what I was expecting. I thought you would have the toms tuned pretty high.
Yeah. No, they're like super loose actually. Like to the point where the tension rods start falling out, so I have to put shit so they don't fall.
Wow.
Crazy. Well, that makes it more interesting that you're fucking getting so much attack out of it. You're hitting hard, exactly. So
yeah.
Have you heard of those bottom heads, Joseph? Or I mean that Joseph you showed me those like it's like the EC Rezos. Yeah, the EC Rezo like bottom heads, but then use like regular top heads. Have you tried that like on the bottoms? It's like the secret, dude.
What's the difference?
Doing that. So using the EC2 batter as a reso, right?
Oh no!
Well, they just sell an EC reso, yeah.
They make a resonant like bottom like for tom heads, whatever, you know. And it's like an EC. It's got like that like muffle like thing or like some kind of like
dampening ring.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in some. It's like it's not like that like metal one. It's like a different. It's like that like cloth thing that goes around like that webbed kind of thing. Whatever. The point is that they put the muffling on the bottom head, like in that sense. So it's like a reso head with a slight bit of muffling. And then on the top head, you just use a regular 2-ply. And it's like the game changer fucking best. Like Joseph showed me that.
Wow. So
it's so easy to tune too.
So is it, so crazy. Sorry, is it reso head that is built for that, or do you put a batter head on the bottom?
Yeah, it's a reso head. It's a reso head built for that.
Oh,
Like Evans
shit.
makes it. Yeah, dude. It's like a webbed bottom. Like it has like that like muffle web like thing for the reso bot, dude. It's game changer,
Dude, I'm gonna check that
secret,
out.
secret reveal.
The most like dampening I'll do, I'll put duct tape on the bottom.
Yeah, see, yeah,
just
exactly.
to cut it. But maybe that would even solve it more.
I'm just saying, those are like so sick. And then it's like any top head you use is fine after that. Basically, like any standard 2-ply, 1-ply, whatever head.
Mhm.
It just basically controls like, because you get that wonky wow, like if you're ever trying to tune a drum and it gets all super like it like basically eliminates that, like, because it's just like it has that like extra like little bit of muffling. I don't know what it is, dude. It's
well,
like,
I mean, I feel like that problem persists a lot with the single ply heads. Mostly, like I try to tell everybody to use double, like especially for extreme shit, because that just gets
of course we're talking metal drums. Not
yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, I mean everyone's got their own preference too, so
But these can even work if you had like a 1-ply head on the top, dude. Like these would still work for control of tune. Like you can tune just saying, check it out. Just try it.
I'm definitely pick your guys' brain more about that too, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I thought you guys want to try the thing that goes like when you hit it, it goes like. I'm just kidding.
Yes, Joel.
No, that's
hey,
cool,
you're outnumbered, buddy. There's 3 drummers here.
Oh shit! All right, dude. So what do you guys? I'm just
is Anthony in a sauna right now, or
no? He's at his
no,
he sold his house. He's in a shop. He's living out of his shop right now.
He's not in a sauna. He's
He's in a spa.
definitely not.
He don't feel bad for him. He bought it for like he sold it for like triple the amount that he bought it for. But anyways, no, what I wanted to get into was the guy barfing while playing drums.
Yeah, let's watch that.
I didn't want to get. I couldn't think of anything to say.
Damn.
No, I kind of like the drum talk here
funny.
because you have like Joseph and Casey are kind of like the I don't know, like not like doing like all natural like huge drum sounds, like they're going super fast and double bass. You guys have a different style and way of looking at the drums, but the thing is, where you come from, Adam, is kind of like looking at that and being like, all right, fuck yeah, I'm gonna take that and make it kind of my own. What was your biggest influence going in from like the tech death and then bringing it to kind of like down to like what you guys do, like the fun kind of style, and then also going back into tech death? Like, what was your big influence in drummers, like listening to those like fast drummers? Like, what was the thing you took away?
Okay, so fast drummers, James King, Mike Hamilton, Pete Sandoval, Derek Roddy. Like those are the main 4. And then for like Cartilage, like I like Kai Hato he's now in Nightwish, but obviously he did better shit back in the day. He was in Rotten Sound back in the day, and he's just doing all sorts of shit like no other drummer ever did in grind. I mean, also shout out to Brian Fajardo. He's one of the best drummers in grind and extreme. He just has so much flavor, and he's so fucking good at his blast. He's played in like PLF. He's done Phobia. So Noisier.
Noisier.
Yeah. Noisier.
New Mexico.
Yep, New Mexico.
Yeah. I know those guys.
So now he's in Dallas. He's got like Cognizant and Tricito. He's fucking rad. I love watching him play.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know if that answered your question. Oh, I love Dave Whitty too. I'm repping Human Remains. I love Dave.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, his like all the Human Remains, Burned by the Sun, Discordance Axis.
Yeah,
dude, Discordance Axis. Discordance Axis is where I started listening to him, and then Burned by the Sun. Then I started digging and got back to Human I've been drinking Human Remains. But you know what I'm saying. I started Discordance, Burned by the Sun, and then actually East West Blast Fest is another thing too, where he did with check it out. It was, I don't know if it was a Relapse release, but East West Blast Fest, and it was him and the dude from a fucking, I forget what band he was from, but anyways, he would write his drums and then send it to this guy, and that guy would layer his shit over it, whether it be guitar or synth or weird noises.
Oh, are you talking about
It's called East West Blast Test.
Huh. I never heard of that.
They did 2 albums, and it's with Homeboy on drums. And
dude, he's done so much.
Chris Dodge.
What's
Chris
that?
Dodge and Dave Woody.
What was his
Iniquity?
Chris Dodge.
Oh, I thought you were being funny, Joel.
No, it's
I'm deaf.
Dave
Chris
Woody?
Dodge.
Iniquity?
No, if you look up East West Blast Test, it's him and a dude.
Oh, thank God the
from,
professor's here. You can type that stuff in right now.
I got him. I think he's got it.
Professor with a
Yeah,
bunch of deaf
you guys
people.
hear me? I've been saying it a couple times.
Yeah,
It's
I'm just
Loud and clear, Professor.
Who is it? Who is it?
Chris Dodge and Dave Woody.
Okay, I heard that earlier.
Chris
And what is Chris Dodge's bands that he was in?
Iniquity, right?
No,
No,
that's where it
Spaz.
gets confusing. Spaz. There you
Spaz.
go.
Oh,
There it
Spaz. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Redwood
That's-
City, right.
That's what I was looking for, dude. Thank you, Professor. But yeah, it's a cool East-West combo collaboration of just 2 dudes who have separate ideas and trade them, and then they made a couple albums. It's actually pretty rad.
I gotta check that out because I love everything Dave does, man. Dave Woody's incredible.
I highly recommend it. Then if you like weird shit and his drumming styles, dude, you're gonna be happy.
Have you guys heard Brain Tentacles?
Brain Dedicals.
No, Brain Tentacles.
Brain Tentacles. No.
Yeah,
Either one of those.
both names are cool to me.
It's super
Okay.
cool. It's like saxophone, John Zorny shit with like very swingy drums, you know, and some blast beats and
Oh,
very
Melpin,
pocket
yeah.
and weird. It's super cool.
Sounds like something Anthony is not into.
I know. John Zorn's like his favorite artist of all time.
I like
He's
weird shit, guys. That's why I just recommended East West Blast Test. Whoever goes and listens
But
to
Brain
that
Tentacles, he
episode,
sent you
they
something that you
realize
don't
I
even
like
know
weird
about.
shit, dude.
You don't even know about Brain Tentacles, and it said John Zorn. You're just like, you just
Well,
went right
dude,
over it.
there's a plethora, there's a giant well of great shit that I'll probably, I get super high and I think about when I get to the end of my life and there's so many pieces of art, whether it be music, film, or physical art, whatever, that I'll never be exposed to that would have been perfect for me. You know what I'm saying? There's so much to experience in life that I know I'm going to miss gems.
But Adam
those-
just gave you a gem, and you totally
I
skipped
I
over
just
it.
collected it. I just collected it. What are you talking about, dude? It's on.
He says on the
being
tune,
recorded on our
East
podcast
West,
right now.
You're all East West. Like that's the first thing you said after he's all like, sounds like John Zone. You're all like, dude, East West, fucking. Like totally didn't even take.
What are you
it.
what was the recommendation?
Say it again, Adam.
Oh, Brain Tentacles.
There you go. Yeah, dude, I'm totally down to check that out because I love Zorn. And yeah, no, dude, but Joel, it's funny. It's being recorded on the internet right now, dude. It's
You don't listen to the fucking
archived.
podcast back though.
I don't.
Just listen to me. I'm guiding you through the script.
So when
brother.
these things happen and we go to the next day, just say, "Hey, dude."
So Woody was in Burnt by the Sun. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I
Yeah.
didn't know
And
that.
Yeah,
Melt
that-
Banana is another good
That's
one.
that's a great Burnt by the Sun. Yeah, Melt Banana is a great band too. All these things that he's been a part of. He was on a Exit 13 split with
Yeah.
Hemdale.
That's my favorite Exit 13 is with him on drums. It's so vicious.
It's very good. It's
Mhm.
maybe not my number one. My number one's got to be Ethos Music, dude. That album just hit me in the right spot at the right time. But I love that split. I'm not denouncing it whatsoever because it is the cleanest Exit 13 recording because he's on drums, and I'm not I'm not talking shit about the other guy. He had mad unique styles of drumming, and with the brutal truth shit that he did too, it's also unique. Like, and he was an anal cunt for a little bit too, but I think that was kind of a weird time for his career. But yeah, anyways, that was
one band that I've done extensive research on, and I don't know why people like still back him at all, is Anal Cunt.
Yeah, Seth Putnam is a very controversial character, dude.
Controversial? Like, he makes like Kanye look like a fucking the nice, like the Pope. Like, I don't know. People are like, yeah, they wear their shirts, and stuff. It's like, I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, that guy kind of. I get that he's like kind of trying to Gigi Allen pretty hard, and like I get it.
He's the one who's like, I'm gonna make fun of everybody, and he doesn't hold back. You know,
I actually don't even know anything.
Now, R.I.P. Rest in peace.
I guess I should go.
I don't know. Rest in piss. But
it could be rest in piss too. But dude, he was a human. He died. You just got to be like, all right, dude, R.I.P.
I don't know. No.
I'm sorry for his family. But
he said a lot of offensive shit that I don't agree with.
Funny. It's funny to watch like now, but like I'm like, Jesus, dude. I'm like,
yeah.
You guys ever listen to Anal Blast?
Oh,
Anal
yeah,
Blast,
yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Early Joey Jordison, like super blast beating.
Totally.
It's so sick.
Yeah, it's a trip. I forget that he came from
the album was called Vaginal Vampire, and it was a parody of Cradle of Filth's earlier covers, dude, where it's a chick eating out another chick. But on the Cradle of Filth, it was two vampire chicks just making out with blood on their tits, you know?
Right.
But they went even further and said, no, we're just gonna have we're just gonna have two chicks on the cover where they're actually having sex, you know?
Right.
So we're gonna top this off with the guy puking, because we talked about it earlier.
Dude,
so we got to.
Hey, Cartilage is a gore band. We need to get a little gory with this one, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, puking's kind of gory. Like when you see it, like makes you want to puke. You know,
blood and guts and puke, dude.
This is the cleanest video I can find of it. It's tiny. But
you can't.
So you can see Crim in the background. By the way, that was sick, dude. It's super loud.
You can't get anything bigger.
You can't even hear it, can you?
No, I can't even see, dude. If
watch. You'll see. You'll just see what you need to see. It's not like you see what's his name. We've toured this band. Fuck, Cristiano, I think is his name. Look at he's trying to stop him. Look at he's like, stop, dude, stop playing. Crim's behind him, going like, dude. He's like passing out while he's playing.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, dude.
And he's like, all right, guys. He's still trying to go, and like he's looking back, and then it's just like.
So is the puke going on?
Watch. Yeah, he's vomiting right now.
God. Is he just puking
on his snare, dude? He's still going, and like Crim's like, nah, dude, you're done. He's like, we tried. We tried.
Cheering like that.
We tried.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude. I hope
it's fucked up.
That's some
things like that
dedication,
happen,
though.
Dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying earlier. Like dedication. You just go until you really. Somebody else told you can't do it. You never said you couldn't do it.
Yeah, he probably like after puking.
Puking on his kid, dude, that's like a big
no one behind him,
cleanup.
though. No, but Anthony, if there's no one behind him, I think he's gonna still keep trying to go. Like he needs that guy to be like, dude, cut. Like we need to take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
You know, he's like fucking dying. He's like, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna go until I die. Like, you know, and they're like, no.
That's
dude,
fucking metal, dude. That's fucking.
I know.
Metal,
that's what I'm
dude.
saying. It's one of the cooler like videos I've seen, even though it's sad, but like it's also fucking amazing at the same time. You know.
Damn, dude. The show must go on.
Yeah.
Flesh God are like very proud of like they're like a sleep in the van kind of like mentality. Like they would talk shit on these other bands that would complain. They would be like, well, our first tour, we were 12 people in one Subaru or whatever, you know, like they just go that way. And this like totally fits into their fucking mentality. Just like, dude, their first don't give up, just keep going. Yeah. It was probably that tour with you they were talking about when they said that.
They were like, we talk about like burying your clothes and like to be stinky or whatever, you know, they would have these like, you know, like the kind of like classical, like, you know, like outfits on, and they would like just get off stage and they were soaked and just throw them in a bag and then just fucking go to the next show. And by like show number 7, they would just get in the dressing room and we'd be like, ugh, it just smelled like mold and like just mildew, and it was like, and they were just like sitting there going, what? And they're like, we're just going like, hey, you guys
like,
get out here.
Oh, we only wear them on stage. It's fine, dude.
No,
Well,
that didn't bother them at all.
The most out of your body is on stage, dude.
No, they just would go, and it's really a trip to see them because I saw them with I think it was, I forget what show I saw them recently, like within the last few years. But now the drummer that was the drummer in that band is now the singer playing guitar, who writes most of the music. But like he like went up there and like did like one of the best frontman performances I've ever seen in my life. It was like I walked back there, like me and Gabe Sieber went to that show together, and we went in the backstage, and I was like, what the fuck? You guys are like you're like an amazing frontman. I thought you were like the drummer. He was like trying to learn drums because he'd been playing drums for like a year and a half, 2 years when he decided to do the tour with Flesh God. It was like Flesh God, like Decrepit, Suffo, Faceless was on that. And like he was sitting backstage the whole time, like trying to learn drums because he was like, I'll do the drums. One of those guys. He's like, I'll fucking do the drums. It's fine. And he was like doing it, but he wasn't a drummer. And he was like, and he sat back and just fucking would sit there the whole time just working on it and then have to go on stage. And it was fucking, it's like one of those, like the guy from Vital Remains kind of like feels, you know, you can tell like he's not a drummer, but he's like doing it. He's like, I'm going to do this for the band. And like, and then fast forward like 3 or 4 or 5 years later, when I see him again, he's like putting on this like magical performance, and he's got a flying V guitar, and he's like commanding the audience. And I'm like, what the fuck? I like went backstage. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you're like the best frontman I've ever seen with a guitar.
I just gotta be devil's advocate for a second, because D. definitely sounds like he knows what he's doing. You said him going and sitting down on the kit and not know what he's doing, dude.
No, I mean, I could tell when someone can go fast, and I can tell when someone's like flowing on the kit through the toms. They're like, brrr. I can tell when someone's like
going more than
I know, as hard as they can. Like, just like
I don't know what I'm
doing.
doing
Like
I
flowing.
can't sit down like that.
It's like when you tell someone can play all the notes on a guitar, but you can tell like they have their vibrato's weird, and like you can tell like certain things that they're not like they haven't been playing long enough to get all the small things down, you know. And he was like, I'm just gonna do it, and he just did it, you know.
It's absolutely true. There was an era of Flesh God where that was that guy Francesco, like new to drums, playing for them, and fucking he like learned double strokes, and like I talked to him, and he's like, yeah, it was basically that. He's just like, yeah, I'm like brand new to this, and he was just fucking. It's true what you were saying, basically.
Yeah, it's like a militant base. Like, I'm gonna get this down, though. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, because that's what I have to do. Yeah.
Is it true about Flesh God that they were trained like circus performers? I heard that like before they went into death metal, they were like part of a traveling circus group.
They never told us about that.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard that at some point. It would just makes perfect sense, but it like makes too much sense. It feels like not true because it makes too much sense. I don't know.
I mean, their last performance was like this. In between songs would be like classical music playing, and he'd be like, "All right, motherfuckers, what's going?" It was like a full performance. It was like not just a show. It was like, so that makes sense that it was like a entertainment thing too on top, like what we were talking about earlier with like
learning theatrics and adding theatrics to your show.
It'd be a spotlight on him, and there'd be a classical music. All right, motherfuckers. Well, and there's like fucking like opera singing in the background. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You guys are killing it.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? Which a band I like a little more is Karak Ongren. You guys remember that? Yeah. No, they're very theatrical. I mean, I just liked their first album, and I saw them live with like Deicide or something, but like they're very theatrical, and like you're saying, like violin and like classical music playing in between, but ultra blast beats, and it's cool. It's very cool, very entertaining.
Yeah. It's like when a song stops, it's like it would just be like the spotlight on the singer. It was like this performance. So there was no dead time. It was like constant, like, all right, well, you know, like it just had this, the crowd was engaged. Everyone was like this, you know. It was a sold out show at Ace of Spades in Sacramento, and I was like, you were the drummer last time I saw you play when we toured with you, and you're like fucking commanding the audience now. I was like blown away. You know,
to me, the most theatric show I ever been to, and I'm bringing up one of the weird bands that I've been into for several years, which is Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum, dude. and they played at Great American Music Hall with the Stratosphere opening, which is the big plus. Got the whole VIP experience, blah blah blah. But Sleepy was the headliner, and it was almost a 2 hour or hour and a half plus experience, dude. It was basically 2 sets, and in between was a 15-minute, 20-minute play as
Yeah,
like
that's
an
cool.
intermission, and it was all revolving around, this post-apocalyptic last human on Earth and all this kind of shit. But it was this whole theatric experience, and it's just this band from Oakland that is they're all performance artists, dude. They're all dressed like Victorian corpses and playing their own instruments that they've invented themselves and created
That's
by
cool.
their own hands. And you're just like, whoa, this is something so next level. The theatrics and putting on this whole story that you're supposed to experience throughout the time, with this play intermission in between where actors come out and actually play this shit that this band wrote, and you're just like, what? It's all crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Bucky.
You know what I'm saying though? Like for people to put that much into it, where they're just this avant-garde metal band from Oakland, California, signed to the
which band are you talking about? I showed up late.
Sleepy Time Grill Museum.
Oh, gotcha.
Check it out. It's fucking a wild ride on tape, but even more of a wild ride when you see him live. But they've been defunct for several years. I've been wishing they would come back. Anyways,
I'll definitely check them out. I never heard
of
of
our
them.
podcast.
What's that?
I was just saying I'll definitely check them out. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, dude. If you're into avant-garde, experimental, weird music, that's definitely metal. There's some super, super heavy parts on those albums. But
Sick.
yeah, it's if you're a student of Bungle, you're very easily able to understand what's going on with that band. But I was bringing it up because there's theatrics as well.
Real quick, sorry to go theatrics, but we were talking about in the very beginning. It's sick drummer Ian said Bucky Wawa. Remember I said Wawa in the beginning,
yeah.
like post or pre-pod. That was like I think that's the new Bucky's. I think it's what's going on. It's like,
wait, so Wawa was the old Bucky, or
no? I mean, no. It's like it's the same style. I think Bucky kind of like took that and like branded it and made it like sicker. Because like I remember bands were like touring and they were trying to get endorsed by Wawa. Like, please, like they were like calling them like, we want to be endorsed. That's the only thing we care about. Like we want Wawa and that's it. Now I think I saw like 20 Bucky like costumes for Halloween this year. Like
awesome.
Everyone's like on Bucky, Team Bucky. Like I was like, dude, what about Wawa? I'm shooting for the little guy now. What about Wawa, dude?
What the hell's Wawa?
Whatever. It's East Coast. Whatever.
Oh, I have no idea what's going on right now, but sick, dude. Yeah.
We'll save the alphabet. All right, here we go. So, where's the fucking? I can't unclick this one.
All right, are we rating people tonight? What are we doing?
Yeah, I said that in the thing, but
you said it in the thing.
Death Guitar. All right, got it. I can't get rid of that chat thing because I don't know where it went.
Wait, fuck, this is hilarious. Someone says, I prefer Super Awake Lion Library.
Yes, that hit me.
I'm a Leo, dude.
That's my type of humor.
That's your brother that did that, by the way. That's Vincent.
Oh shit! What up, dude? See, that's my brother.
All right, he got a good one in there.
He did
finally.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that band earlier.
I did. That's his. It's funny. He hasn't played drums in fucking a decade, but he's still a remorseless drummer, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome.
But yeah, that's funny. He got me. He knows my sense of humor.
All right, let's
Who we rating?
Wrap this shit up. Death Guitar 84.
Okay.
Death Guitar 84.
So what do you guys mean by rating?
Oh, okay. So this is why we even got into this, is because Scott from Fallujah and Justin and a few other people were like, you got to go to Twitch. And once I was like, I checked it out, signed up for an account. And the cool thing about it is like you start a stream and then you can send your viewers to somewhere else. So it's kind of like supporting them. So you
Oh,
send
cool.
everyone that's watching, and so like they have these like kind of festivals where there'll be like 20 people doing their thing for like 30 minutes. So then first guy starts, they raid the next person, they raid the next person, and they're like starting this next. It's like a crowd building kind of thing. So before you know, at the very end, there's like hundreds of people watching. So it's like just showing people stuff they're not used to seeing or something, or showing something new. It's like you send viewers towards another channel. Like, check this out. So it's start raid.
Yeah.
Death Guitar. Love you guys.
You make your Twitch friends, and yeah, it's just like, hey, these are people we're down with. Go hang out with them. We're done. We've done how many? Dude, 3 hours and 16 minutes.
Yeah, we're
Not a bad run.
not a bad. Oh, dude,
It's good.
Joseph's gonna play guitar in his.
No,
living
I had
room,
a great
or
time
drums.
tonight, dude.
Jesus, I need to go
Adam,
to
you're a cool dude, bro.
Yes.
Hey, you guys are fucking awesome, man. I've been watching and keeping up with the pod since the first Deeds episode, dude.
Oh, wow.
It made
Oh,
my
yeah.
year to see to hear Jacoby talk about their experience, bringing the band up, because I know Mike, but dude, the fact that they would jam 5 days a week even when there's no shows.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, and you could hear it. They totally jammed all the time,
Yeah.
So,
Did you ever look back on our pilot episode? I wonder what people think of that one.
I mean, I think you guys started to get the small talk slowly better, because you're starting to figure out the flow, right?
Right,
So
right.
yeah, it's we're all talking.
Totally, dude. It's just a chat. Same thing if we were at it's the same. It's actually what we want to do at shows, but there's so much noise in the background that we wouldn't even be able to have as good of a conversation as we're having right now. So we're having exactly what you would do if you're going out to the smoking section. I went out to the smoking section as a non-smoker just for the conversations, or I'd smoke weed too. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it would be being out to the smoking section. We're like, okay, we got to break from the noise. Maybe the band that's going on right now we're not really into. Let's have a conversation with metalheads, and we get to extend it on this thing for 3 hours and 20 minutes or whatever. And I love it, dude. All right. Let's wrap it up though. What the fuck was that, dude?
I burped.
have no idea. Oh, okay. Digital burp.
Wait, so do you guys switch off on who does random shit like the
I don't
bananas
do none of
background?
that, dude.
It's me and
Zero
Casey.
background, the boobers ribbon thing.
So me and Casey are kind of
Definitely.
we're like winking at each other, and we have this admin bar below. Yeah, we can do stuff like that, or Casey will just randomly just be in the middle of it, just be like, or throw a random banner in there or something like that, and we'll laugh, or he'll get a little frisky with it and start zooming in on people constantly.
That's that's the production of the show, really. If you think about it, if it's an actual real
Oh
show.
yeah, I'm searching. See, that's Casey right there. But then Casey will leave the thing, and I'll do all the changes and stuff.
For the listeners, you don't even know, but I got murdered by one earlier, dude. When you guys were talking about drums and unspecific gear alert, dude.
No, it was Casey. No, it was Casey. It was Casey. Casey was he was trying to describe
that
one.
Legit.
Trying to describe a thing, and he couldn't explain. He's it's a thing that deadens the thing, and then the thing gets all weird sounding, and and that was all unspecific gear.
I know, but that one legitimately got me, dude. That one was holy shit, dude. That was perfect, dude. So that's what I'm saying. That's the production of the show. You guys are doing that. I just sit back and watch it all happen. I talk over everybody and try and talk about all my bullshit. But in reality, the production of the show is what makes a lot of this funny, dude. And I've laughed a few times tonight of just what you guys are doing, And that's what's up. That's what makes this thing fun for me too. You guys keep me surprised on certain
Dude,
things.
how can you even see us right now, dude?
I smoke a lot of weed, bro. I can't see you. I see versions of you guys, but I don't. Here,
How do
actually,
you talk in a podcast with your eyes closed?
because my mouth works still, dude. Mostly. I got my glasses on now, so I can kind of see you guys. Why is it always about my ailments, dude? Why is it always about the
Cali Death
thing-
Podcast. Hit all the subscribe, like buttons.
We do it at the very end where probably nobody listens.
Battle
us
Forge
out.
Coffee.
You need to start telling people to subscribe at the
Check us
beginning of
out.
the
Check us
podcast.
out.
Dude.
Subscribe. Go to fucking Paul Masvidal's fucking
The clinic, yeah, we plugged that in the
clinic.
beginning, which is more important. If
Look at
you
that.
hear this and you want to subscribe, that's fine. But go to this more. If you're down there, support the homie and learn some cool shit, dude.
Go to
him
Joseph's.
play that
Joseph's
shit
not.
on
You're
the
not
fucking
touring.
crazy guitar.
You're not finally. You're actually working and being like a normal human being for a while. What's that?
Yeah. Cool in its own way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if Ben Orem hears this, can you reply to my email? Want to get that merch for us going.
Oh, I want All Shall Perish to maybe play one or two more shows too. Come on, Ben.
Yeah. But also get
Childhood
us our shirts, please. So yeah.
Oh, Joseph, I kind of pitched this when you weren't here, but I told them Cali Death Podcast mugs to cross merch with the beans of
Battleforge
flesh.
coffee, dude. The beans of flesh, dude.
Beans.
I'm down
Oh,
with that,
what did
dude.
I have, dude? Fucking what was
We
the one
can
I
call
came
it-
up with?
Cali
Wait,
Death
hold
Pod
on.
Cup versus the Battleforge Coffee Deeds of Beans, dude.
Beads of
Wait.
beans.
And then the
Um,
pod cup.
We're recording still. Shit.
Beads of flesh.
What was that bad about?
We
You
should
know,
wrap it up,
Mr.
dude.
Mr. Surge
No, I
is
feel like
getting
when I hear you
too-
talk, I feel like we're on the afterpod.
We should postpone. We should wrap it up.
No, Casey, let's see us out with the promotions.
But I'm down with the mugs idea. That is a good idea.
Yeah,
There's so much I want to
awesome.
do. Yeah.
Mm.
I want to. I'm getting to it finally.
Awesome.
But yeah, man.
All right,
Hey,
dude.
it was cool getting to stop
Fuck yeah.
in, say what's up. Fucking cheers. Looking forward to seeing you live someday. Past when I got to see you last with Cartilage. Hopefully
Right.
it's with Maentra or some other sick fucking band.
Cool, man.
Let me know if you're ever in LA, Long Beach, whatever.
We'll do. And
Stop by the
likewise,
studio.
next time you're up in the
Hell yeah.
Bay, I'll definitely be there, man. It was really fun to see you play at the X Bar.
Oh fuck, I forgot. Yeah, dude, that was sick.
Yeah, with like Logistic Slaughter, I think played, and yeah, I'm trying to remember. It was a minute ago, but yeah, you were playing, and it was sick.
Hell
And if
yeah.
you're ever drum
Oh,
checking,
it was Ominous Ruin, right?
Yeah, I was
Ominous
with
Ruin,
Ominous.
that's
Was
right.
that with Lost to the Void headlining?
Actually,
Or was it
maybe
the one with
No, I saw you last of Lucy. It was that show.
that was with Ominous, but I wasn't playing for Ominous. I was playing for Lucy, yeah.
Right. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was sick, dude.
Hell yeah.
So,
Dude, this was super fun. The professor being on is always a plus, dude. I
I
had a
know.
great time with all you guys tonight.
I got a
But
shot of energy from Professor. Sean.
yeah, dude, it just made me feel good. Brought me back to where this podcast has started, and all my resident homies were there. That's what I'm saying, dude. But yeah, dude. Adam, one more time, dude. Hit the plugs for Cartilage.
yeah, Cartilage _Gore on Instagram, and then cartilagegore.bandcamp.com. And then if you just look up Cartilage on Facebook, we're there. You can find all our stuff there.
And the
Additional
mantra.
merch, Creator Destructor Records. They have a bunch of cool merch too.
Shout
And
out
then,
again, Ben. Love you, dude.
Yeah, good dudes. And
Light
then-
the City was a great band to watch.
What's up?
I said Light the City was a great band to watch.
Oh
live,
man,
dude.
Light the City's great, dude. Yeah, Ben and Steve Hoffman. Shout out to Steve from Viral.
Yeah,
Super
shout
rad
out
dude.
Steve too, dude.
Love
great
Steve,
dude.
man. So yeah, man, this was fun.
Totally, dude.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, had a blast. We'll see you guys next week for 105. Let's
Love
do
you
the
guys.
do the Joel horns, dude. Everybody just
Joel Horner.
just
Joe Hornzer.
All right, love you guys.
Shout
Rock
out
on.
to the Guitar Center.
Bye. Guitar Center, Paul. Love you. Bye.